Oh shit, yeah, I'm up. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Devil's Latest Issue podcast. I am your host, Mr. Vegas. I'm joined as always by the wonderful Mr. Fatman T.
Hello, everybody.
I know it's a Saturday. It's weird that we're here today. It's weird, yes.
That's because for the past 2 weeks, our stream's been broken as fuck.
It has, yes. We've been having a lot of technical troubles over the last couple of weeks, but we've got them figured out. But we got it fixed. We're back.
I'm running about 9 to 12. It's dipping into the moment for my CPU usage. And so far, our upload has been steady at 16 megabytes. So we're doing good.
Yeah. Viewers at home, it's not going to be a full-length show today. It's going to be a little bit shorter than normal.
Yeah, this is purely just a test on our end to make sure shit is working. I haven't got my OBS fully rigged yet. So.
Yeah, we'll probably be at this maybe an hour or so. But we're still going to treat it like a normal episode. We're talking about some stuff. Speaking of some stuff, there's some stuff.
Now, before you dip into your favorite topic at the moment.
Well, actually, I have two that I want to talk about today.
I've got one quick one for
yeah, go for it.
Mm-hmm. What is your right now? For one thing, I've noticed that particularly in low-income families, especially in America,
right? Yeah.
Right, they are akin and hate the idea of charity shopping. In America, for you guys, you call it thrifting.
Yeah, thrift shops. Yeah.
Right now, I'm advocate for thrift shops because even for people, I find middle-class people, like ones with a medium income, seem to enjoy going to thrift shops more to pick up the bargains you can find there.
Yes.
Right. The rich people and snobs, usually don't like it. But what I thought was what they're designed for, low-income families to get hands on some okay products for second-hand. People decide to donate away to causes. Now, the ones you think that would be fair for the low-income families, especially in America, don't seem to like it too much.
And I don't understand why.
I like my mother and my sisters love digging around charity shops for bargains and shit.
It's one of my favorite hobbies. I genuinely. If I'm in my local city doing a grocery shop or whatever, if I've got time, if I'm not doing frozen food, I'm just doing dry goods.
Yeah.
Or I'm in town specifically of I need to go raid a gaming shop or something, or I'm going to go raid Primark for a specific type of t-shirt. Because I specifically need a t-shirt that fits me in this color for this project.
Yes.
While I'm there, go raid the charity shops, right? I love charity shops so much so, right? Me and a very good friend of mine, who we are going to call Peter, right? Me and my good friend Peter. We came up with a game when we were in high school that we used to play. And the game didn't have a name per se. The game had a look. You know those kind of games, Fat Man T, you have with your friends? Where the rules are discussed at some point. That point of time is lost. There's no name for the game. There's no starting word. You just give each other a look, and the context of the situation with the look equals we're doing that game today.
Right now,
right?
Your game. Right?
Well, I've not told people what the game is yet.
Yeah, but I know I've heard it before, but I don't.
Actually, you know the game. People don't know the game, so.
Your game you like to play, right? Are you finishing the rules? And I'll get back because it's quite interesting.
It would make a good TV show, I would argue. But it's a TV show, actually. Thinking about it. So the game me and Peter would play is we'd go into town, right? And normally we'd pre-schedule it, right? We'd be at school, right? It'd be lunchtime, and we'd just give each other that look, and that look said, "Text me later. I'm in the mood to play." Right? We'd get home. Text, fucking, right, Peter, what you doing on Saturday? Fuck off, how about you? Right, meet me in town. Get the bus. 6 o'clock, you know the rules, right? Here were the rules, right? You turned up at the bus station, you meet up. You've got a budget of 5 Great British pounds. You then go your separate ways, and sometimes there was a time limit, other times it was until the sun went down. And it was getting close to, closing time for all the local stores. It's 5 o'clock-ish. And the game was you had to go around as many charity shops as you could with a fiver. and purchase as many video games, DVDs, Blu-rays, just tech shit that you could sell at the local gaming store, which was called CEX. Still is called CEX. For the British viewers, you will be very familiar with CEX as a brand. For the Americans, you are giggling right now, going, sex shop. A joke we also made quite frequently in my youth. I digress. So again, when you went out to charity shops, you bought your games, your DVDs, and your Blu-rays, right? And you'd basically, at the end of the day, before you went into CEX, you'd go through your pile, and you'd separate them out, right? You'd make 2 piles for yourself with 2 carrier bags. Shit I want to keep, shit for the game, right? Because sometimes you'd find a thing where it's like, I've always wanted a copy of that game, and that's a bargain of a price. If I use it for the game, I win by default, but I've also always wanted that, so like, nah. So you'd keep it to the side. And the name of the game was to go into CEX with your games and your movies and whatnot, take them up to the counter and sell them. And whoever could make the best profit at the end of the day wins. What did they win? No prizes, just you win the game. That was your day. You won the game, the day was done. Speaking of the game, everyone just lost the game. Sorry to bring back that joke from 2012, but you know, like that was just what me and my friend Peter would do. We'd go into town, you'd raid the charity shops, you would play that game. Sometimes I'd bring extra cash because I'd be like, you know, yeah, I want to play the game, but also I need a new T-shirt, or like I need a hat for like something specific, and I'd bring like an extra $5 just so I could buy hats and shit. Like I genuinely love charity shopping.
Yeah, let's say charity shopping, as you're calling it, right? A lot of people in America use it as a business model.
Yeah. Like, this is the thing I don't understand. Like, when it comes to thrift shops in particular, so I've been to thrift shops, right? I've been to the States. I've been to an American thrift shop, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's essentially a charity shop and a pawn shop rolled into one. Only way better than that sounds. Like, some of the shit you can find in thrift shops is amazing. And the prices that go along with them are even better. Like we're talking like taxidermied extinct animals, $20. Like we're talking taxidermied dodos for $20. Kind of nuts, you know. Like it's a magic. Thrift stores are magical locations. We need more of them in this country. Fuck you. It's like charity shops are a whole different ball. Like charity shop, it's a small little building, you know, no bigger than a cafe on a high street. A thrift shop's it's like a warehouse. It's like the size of a damn Costco. Like they're magical places. We need more of them here.
That's what you know.
Like I would never leave the thrift shop if I had one in my area.
Oh yeah, no, I wouldn't either. You know.
Like I would honest to God, I would set up like a tent in the parking lot of said thrift shop and live there.
I mean,
Like frankly, if you let me use their plugs to like charge up my a laptop so I could do this show, I'd work there for free while I was at it.
I mean,
Like I'd live outside, I'd work during the day. You know, like
the number of YouTubers I've seen who they go to the thrift shop and say, look, I picked this up from the thrift shop for like £2.
yeah.
And like resell it again, like because it turned out to be a great collectible for like 30-40 quid.
Yeah.
Especially also like the car booters who do the same with car boots.
Yeah, like I like it's a game like basically me and my dad do the same game me and Peter used to do, but with car boot sales. Mm-hmm. For the Americans, car boot sale flea market basically. But it's
swap meet.
The
American version of our couple of
cars. It's like a swap meet. Like to be fair, like it's still also kind of like it's like a flea market, but instead of like tables, you've got cars in a field.
Yeah, flea market is slightly different to what our rules are.
It's still a similar system. Like it's close enough. You know, like you turn up, people are selling shit. Sometimes you buy the shit. You know, it's.
I mean, I found my older sister tried to do that with her ex-husband, but he went overboard. He was buying like antique books, and I would get these like, great antiques.
Yeah.
The Antiques Roadshow, like the
Oh, Dickinson's Real Deal.
No, Bargain.
Is that the one with the 2 teams?
Yeah,
Is that the bargain hunt with the two teams? You got red versus blue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's still in the air actually to this day.
Mm-hmm.
Different person running it. And
Yeah.
then you've got-
I think the episodes air on like a Monday.
Then you have like that other one, the Antiques Road Trip. You've got the two antique dealers who go around
Yeah.
different antique shops or.
I like it when they do the celebrity version of Antiques Road Trip because neither of the celebrities ever know what the fuck they're doing. They're just like, look at the pretty, and then it sells for £10 billion. You're like, what the fuck? How?
Oh, remember that fat guy in the tweed suit with the ginger beard?
Yes.
He would always win it by a stupid amount, and you'd always
On awesome shit. Yeah. It was always like random shit that had no fucking no right to win the game, and it would win.
Everybody else would make it like
So dumb.
at the end of it like 100, 200 crown profit. There's him. Oh yeah, I used about a third of my money, and I made $5 grand. Like, what the fuck?
Is there just like I bought like 3 antique shops worth of fucking walking sticks for 20 quid, and I sold them for £3 grand. Like that was genuinely what he'd do. He'd just buy like all the walking sticks he could find, sometimes something a little more pricey, and he'd come home with £3 grand profit because he was an absolute baller who didn't give a flying
A
fuck.
£200 walking stick. He put the auctions like, yep, that's
£500 for one.
What the? I remember one he bought for £1.
Yeah.
And he sold it for like $2.5 grand because it happened to be this rare like antique wood, and it was carved by a specific antique wood stick maker from the 13th century, some shit like that.
I'm pretty sure, like, in one episode, he literally just finds a fucking walking stick with Winston Churchill's name engraved in it or some shit.
Yeah.
And he ends up taking it to, like, a specialist. And it's like, yeah, Winston Churchill owned, like, here's a photo of Winston Churchill with this exact walking stick with the same serial number. You bought Winston Churchill's walking stick for 20p.
Also,
I swear to God, that was an episode.
Also, it was like, he thought it was like silver plate with like fake gems in it.
Yeah.
And it had to be like, wood was ebony, so it's a valuable wood. The silver was actually full on pure silver, and it had like a fucking.
I think it was sterling as well, wasn't it?
No, it was pure silver.
Was it just pure?
Sterling's like a cheap version of silver mixed with zinc.
Right, fuck you. You and me about have a problem here. Don't you call my country silver cheap?
What is?
Ours is pure shit. Pure sterling silver, baby.
What's the thing?
Scottish silver. It's different.
It's not. Sterling silver is literally silver mixed with the metal.
No. Sorry. There's two. You've got sterling. When Scottish people say sterling silver, we mean Scottish sterling silver, not pure sterling silver.
Well, sterling silver is silver mixed with zinc.
Yeah, no, we're talking about the Scottish sterling silver that comes from the Scottish hills. It's one of the purest, most expensive silvers on planet Earth.
Yeah, that's a silver.
Yeah. We call it sterling silver because most of it is.
Because sterling silver is only an English term.
Yeah, up here we call Scottish silver sterling silver because most of our silver mines are near the city of Stirling.
Yeah, but it's technically for the average punter, sterling silver is like a.
It's just pure silver, yeah, like.
Quality silver in other places.
Yeah, like.
It's, in England, sterling silver is like they go like the post office sell jewelry. You go post office, it's pure silver. Yeah, it's like half silver, half zinc type shit.
To be fair, you gotta watch for that down there, though. To be fair, I've had some fucking bargains when it comes to sterling silver down there.
Oh yeah, so that mean
like because it's an English guy selling it, he assumes it says sterling silver that it's the cheap shit. Mm-hmm. You buy it off mint, like no, it's proper like Scottish sterling silver. You can sell it for like a small mint. Fucking.
Oh yeah, I found a set of 6 Jewish Bakera cups, like for the ceremonies.
Yeah, they sell for a fucking fortune.
Now the guy I bought it again. It was a charity shop. Found these at.
Yeah.
And he said, "Oh yeah, the guy brought me said there's a sterling silver, so it's only £6." I thought I'll give it a punt because it look pretty.
Yeah.
Right. Had a little bit worn, so you can tell like a little bit wear on them. Yeah, I checked the stamps. I thought it had some zinc in it. Right. The purity level was around 22.
Rookie numbers.
And that, so it wasn't a full 24. It was a 22 carat run. So it's still very expensive sterling silver. I think the reason why I had zinc in it was they used zinc for the base.
Yeah.
For basically for soundness when people run across the floor. They say see a little bit tarnished, but you can also tell the blackness from the silver itself.
Yeah.
On it. And they're quite old. I mean, if I look for the dates, they're like 18th century ones. So they're quite nice set. And my ex-husband fucking lost the bastards. So no, you give them away for a tenner.
A double dickhead.
Yeah. So,
To be fair, in fairness, right, he still made a profit though.
oh yeah, you know, pay £6 for them.
Yeah, like that's still more than you paid for them. So like you can't be that upset. In fairness, like
I'm very upset. He sold them out of malice.
oh, I mean, yeah, there is that, and also like he didn't sell them for like as much as he could have. But at the same time,
yeah, I mean at auction, I worked out at auction it would be in something around I think about £200-300.
yeah, like
high
like
end 1,000, depending on the day.
like
Depending on the day and buy. I found 2 Jewish buyers, particularly from. I mean, they were British made, but found 2 Jewish buyers from Israel. I could have cut up 1,000 easy.
nah, see, like your best bet, especially for sterling silver, sell it in like Glasgow. Like Glasgow or Edinburgh, because both Glasgow and Edinburgh have like several really good auction houses that like have decent commission fees and everything, and also like surprisingly high Jewish like populations.
I tell you what, I do have in my hand.
Like,
I do have my
like you know, Jews live there, but like there's more of them there than like your brain would expect for Scotland. You'd expect like like 1 every 15. No, it's like 2 in 8. It's like 2 in every 8 motherfuckers you're gonna bump into is just a Jewish guy. Like it's more than you'd expect.
I tell you, I do have my possession, right? This is from my dad. This, well, 2 things. I've got one, an antique pocket watch. That's from my great granddad, pure silver, inside engraved, old fashioned turnkey one.
Yeah.
Over the hills. And what I got from my dad, from my bottom, is a genuine German drinking stein with a pure silver cap.
That's really cool.
I tell you what, give an idea of this. Because these things, like, depend on where you buy them from. But
I would say I know exactly the type of stein like you're on about. Like that's really fucking cool. Like you mean like a flagon design, right?
Hang on, I'm going. I gotta go and get it. Now he's had this since I was a kid.
Like the two I've got off my dad that like I think they're not like the most valuable thing I own, but like they're certainly to me the coolest. It's like my dad was in the Navy for several years, and there's a thing that the Navy does where like when you serve on a ship, you'll like when you finish your service on said ship, you get given a tankard with the name like of the ship and like the dates and like date you came aboard, date you left, all that shit. Because I didn't mass print that for like a full fucking crew. Because like 9 times out of 10, a full crew is going to serve together and then fuck off, and then a new crew is going to take over. My dad served on. I remember like I think my dad served on like 3, maybe 4 vessels. I think it's 4 vessels he served on because I think he's got 4 tankers. I have 2 upstairs in storage, and he's got 2 in his living room. And I wish it's a flagon design, it's the exact one I had in mind. Like they're just like I think they're like stainless steel or like titanium, so like they're not worth a fortune, but like they're really like my dad's one. Sorry, no, that's ceramic and silver. That just your cap silver. The actual stein is ceramic.
So see what this one is, right?
That's really nice. I like that.
I'll give you a picture of the base.
I must say, is that fucking St. Helens?
Nope.
Notre Dame?
Nope.
I don't read German, so like I'm assuming corn is a clue, but I don't read German.
It's Destron. Where it's from.
That you gotta fucking translate that to English for me, pal. Fuck you. Which church is that?
It's a Chapel Church in Germany. Area.
Is that Catholic one? Fucking.
Yeah, it used to be a Catholic church, cathedral.
Ah, right, yeah. Looks cathedral. Oh shit, you even got the hallmark on it still. Fuck yes.
This is from Germany. You see the Germany at the bottom.
Yeah.
And this predates World War One.
That's so cool. Yo, that's in really good nick as well. I'm impressed.
I did have another one which my brother-in-law got and broke, which was double the size of this one, just after World War One, and had the built-in music box at the bottom. Original built as well. and he managed to destroy it.
How?
I have no idea how he just did.
Fuck, is he just one of those motherfuckers who's just got the talent? He's like me, he's just blessed with the ability to break the unbreakable shit.
Now, I found that one, Music Box one, at a car boot sale, and I paid £10 for it. Actual price, because the Music Box involved with it?
Yeah, like...
730.
I mean, I was gonna aim for like £1,000, so like, yeah, like, I wasn't far away.
Problem was the era, because it was made 10 years earlier, just before World War I.
Yeah.
Because it was made after, and that was caused the fluctuation price.
Like...
That we couldn't actually date it fully on because the actual date stamp was a bit worn off.
Yeah.
The stamp for like the German-made stamp and the plate stamp was still there with the music box, but the actual date wasn't. So going off this music, a guy got a praise for us. Said it was about just after World War I, which made it less valuable than it was before World War I.
See, you would have thought it would be worth more just after World War I, because there was like less infrastructure after World War I than before World War I, so they'd be able to make less of them, you'd think, wouldn't you? But
the problem is, though, that period also is some parts with less quality because
yeah, shortage of materials and things like
and the tune of the music box changed from like authentic German to more mix of German and Polish music in it for some reason.
Yeah.
So that's what caused like the valuation of it. Well, it's still a nice piece. I mean, this one I've got sit next to it. And now that's something my dad gave me. I've never hit rid of it. To be honest, the nice flagon though, isn't it?
It's really nice. Like shit, fucking.
I got thing though, it's still a good nick, and my dad used to drink out of it.
Like you make me want to buy a flagon. Like fucking, that's what's happening here. I'm tempted to buy a flagon.
We find a proper German-made one. It's worth a fortune these days.
Oh yeah, like fucking the proper authentic ceramic Germans are worth fucking just money.
Because how they look, a lot of people don't think they're worth very much. Think they're just tacky and cheap, but they're worth a fucking fortune to collectors. Especially German collectors, they would kill you.
Oh yeah, look, even your historians will pay you a good bit of money for one. Like,
I know Hitler's one went for like 1.3 million, apparently.
Yeah, but like, in fairness though, Hitler's one's gotta be more expensive. It was Hitler's. You know, like, there's a bit more history to Hitler's flagon, you know?
Like the Auschwitz one that the Jewish made.
Yeah.
With a prison mark on it, which the Germans bought and kept and sold them for quite high prices as well. Not many left, like.
I would say a lot of the shit that got made like in Auschwitz and a lot of the other like concentration camps are worth a fortune. Because they're extremely rare because very few of them survived past the war.
Yeah, because like
and also like because of like even if all of them did survive, because of like just the history behind the item and the context of how like when it was made and why, just by default gives it immediate just intense value. Yeah. Being like just from being from such a dark, strange little point in human history, it's really cool.
I mean, some of the rare ones I've seen the bone chest set.
Yeah, the bone chest sets are so nice. I want one so badly, but they're like $6,000.
Devin as fuck. There's bone chest.
Like,
there was a bone backgammon. There was a bone dice.
Yeah.
Beautiful. And Summer Match carved a bone music box.
They did, yes. And it looks so nice, and I want it, but it's again really expensive.
That's not 500,000.
There's one left in the world, and I want it. If I won the Euro Millions tomorrow, that's probably the first thing I would track down and purchase. If I woke up with 20 million.
I've seen people try to recreate it, and no one's might be able to remake it again. So I don't know how the fuck this guy did it. Because bone carved that thin for the pins. It's so delicate,
so brittle. Like,
yeah, no one's ever even with modern machinery methods, they can't remake the damn thing. So how the fuck he made it with a knife and a file in a
The fact as well is like from what I heard, like it's still theoretically in working condition, but no one has the balls to test it.
No, they have to run it because of where the spring works. Because the spring is still metal. They have to turn on every year to make sure the spring still is in shape.
Yeah.
Just play like once a year in this museum. I've got like one time for like 6 minutes.
That's something I would love to go and see. Go show up on testing day to just hear that, because I bet that has a funky little sound to it.
Apparently, it's quite. What they call it is beautiful but haunting.
I'm gonna say like, I mean that would be like a trick in the mind because your mind knows the context of like that's made out of bones, and given where it was made, we cannot guarantee that's not like someone's spinal cord.
Yeah.
So it's probably just the brain working with that information and going, it's really neat, but that's really creepy.
There's also apparently one of the Jewish composers that was put there. He composed a special set for that music box.
Yeah, which again is so cool. It
reminds me of the. Ever seen the Silver Swan?
Oh, now.
That was in Bose Museum quite a few years back.
It rings a bell. I would need to see it to know for sure. I've heard of silver swans. I don't know if it's the same context. Either yes, I am thinking of the museum piece, or I'm thinking of a gag from a fucking D&D, not D&D, For Honor playthrough I watched recently. But now that I'm thinking about it, I think the D&D For Honor joke was Midnight Swan.
Hang on.
I don't know.
Over here. That one. And are we still going? Yep, we're still going strong.
We're still going.
Yep. There you go. That's it.
No, I'm not familiar with this, but that looks fucking awesome.
That is one giant music box.
Jesus Christ.
Now, I have personally seen that play 6 times. Me and my family scored Bose Museum, Wales, held for about 50 years.
Yeah.
In Bishop Auckland. Right? And
okay, yeah.
And the start of that is beautiful because the whole swan moves, head, wings.
Oh, that's so cool.
And down here, right, this all moves as well. Fine strands of silver with a little fish on it.
Again, that is so. Oh, tell me the swan bobs its head to try and catch the fish.
Yeah, hang on.
Oh, that's so. No, there's a picture down there of it doing it. Yeah. Oh, that's so neat.
Hang on.
Yo, that's really cool. Shit like this fascinates me. Just like the weird stuff people can do in terms of like decoration with like things you wouldn't expect.
I got video again.
VIDEO. EO. EO. Solo seo, solo seo. There's the thing I've been watching recently. Is I've been watching like classic like rock songs remade in ancient Latin.
Hang on, listen to this. Make sound for it. No, look at the sound for it. Down.
That's a shame.
There you go. That's its full motion.
Oh, that's so neat. Even the beak moves. What the? Why does that go so hard?
And you see the strands moving in the water?
Yeah, that didn't need to be made to go that hard.
There's fish in its mouth.
But yet they made it go that hard.
There's fish in its mouth.
When was it made? Because that will like dictate how impressive this is.
I think it's the 17th century.
That's like so you're telling me in the 17th century, so what, the 1500s? They built a fucking animatronic out of silver.
Pure silver.
And then we forgot how to do that for like 400 years. Until fucking that weird pizza joint came along with the fucking bears. You know the fucking pizza joint I'm on about with the bears?
Yeah.
Fucking, what's it called?
Ladies and gentlemen,
Chuck E. Cheese.
Welcome towards the best loved, most famous
Chuck E.
object.
Cheese is a mouse brain. It's close enough. Shut up.
That's Bose Museum.
Yeah. No, I've not been, but I've been past. Cause I've got a family member who lives in Bishop Auckland. I've drove past on my way to their house. It looks like one of those museums where, like, just looking at the outside, you're like, fuck, I bet the inside of that looks awesome.
I've been there several times when I was a kid. It's like a regular thing when you go on holiday.
Yeah. Like...
collection, it is the Silver Swan. Swansea was made in the year 1772.
1772.
That is so impressive.
So 18th century, the end of the 18th century.
Like, the fact they legit just built a solid silver fucking animatronic in the 1700s will never not be impressive.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what the why? Why did the human race feel the need to do that?
I love the music it plays.
That's it.
Thank God, bring in the sacred key with the hidden glove. What's my mic? I can hear it, yeah. Right, this might just be the stupidest shit I've ever said in my life, right? But hear me out when I say it. Like, this statement may just rival the statement about how Dino Nuggies taste different to like other Nuggies because they taste like dinosaurs, right?
Right, before you all disappear,
Is it just me, or does this like the music coming from that music box mixed with like the way the swan moves just shout Studio Ghibli?
It does, yeah.
Like right?
Yeah.
Like if that scene, if this was a 2D animation, that music played and a 2D swan moved like that, I would instantly blame Studio Ghibli for it.
With a little girl at the side of the beach watching it swim across the lake.
Yeah. Wearing like a little red T-shirt and like blue jean shorts, despite the fact the film's set in like 1200 AD for reasons of fuck you.
I can
Like-
quite easily believe it. You know,
Like, yeah, you can see it. You can see that film in your head. You can see it in that art style.
that's now we moved down to London now.
Like,
Now,
I mean, trust fucking London, but like,
yeah, they took it out of Boards Museum and it went down to London. Don't know if it's come back yet or not.
let me guess, British Museum?
No.
I'm amazed.
The Victoria Royal Museum.
Oh, you're never getting it back. That's gone forever.
Probably
That-
stay in Boards
That's
Museum.
been sold to China now.
That's supposed to stay in the Boards Museum.
It's been sold to the Chinese now.
But it's still on a date when I have memories of the most beautiful things I've ever seen. Next to like a well-forged katana or sword. Apart from like weaponry, that's one of the most beautiful things.
Seriously, what the fuck is my microphone picking up other than me?
I have no idea. Mine's actually doing alright.
Why is the green circle still just around me? What the hell?
No idea.
Let me turn on the audio on this the stream. Just hang on. Like bear with me.
I hear it in the background picking up like a TV. No. It's picking up the stream.
How?
Your mic that can pick up our stream, I can hear it in the background.
It literally can't be.
It is, I can hear it.
How is it? Hang on. Am I louder all of a sudden?
Loud,
Like-
like a little distant type thing almost.
Louder? What? Huh? What? What's going on? Hang on.
I don't know when you check your settings there. I actually hear our stream playing in the background.
Like, hang on. Is that? Was it? Hang on.
You're quieter now, and I can't hear more background noise.
What? Why did it do that?
I have no idea. That's me.
This entire time. You're not gonna believe this, right?
Uh-huh.
Entire time, Discord has been set to the microphone on my fucking on my headphones,
Oh, right.
and I've been like holding my stand mic like an actual microphone for most of the show for no goddamn reason. Bruh.
Actually, hang on.
Oh my god.
Actually, reminds me about checks on my side, actually. I need to make sure that my, it's not, shit. Right. Sorry for you about that stream.
You're instantly. You're. I've just checked. You're really quiet for the viewers. Just so you know.
Yeah, 'cause I've just checked. I didn't set my OBS mic.
So you didn't. Yeah, you didn't change your fucking your mic input, did you?
Nah, I forgot. I thought
Didn't change
automatic
your game
Discord
level.
does it. It's not for OBS.
No.
That's what I've just checked it for.
Yeah.
I thought, hang on, I'll check this.
Oh, I can't believe. Do you know why I did that? I can tell you exactly why that happened.
Why?
Earlier today, I stood up and caught my microphone cable and unplugged itself from the computer,
And
and I plugged it back in and didn't. I assumed Discord would just default back.
It should do, yeah. Mine.
Clearly, it didn't. Like, oh, that's been doing that all day. I've been in so many Discord calls since then. Oh God, no. Oh, I have some really good friends because none of my friends have complained that they've been able to hear their own fucking voice. That's why I use the separate sound mic, because like normally a Discord call like this, you'd say something, then like 2 seconds would pass and you'd hear your own fucking voice again.
Yeah, like we used to do on PlayStation.
Oh, yeah. A problem I fixed on PlayStation incidentally, because I fucking finally got him to getting a new headset that isn't snapped in 4 separate places.
Yeah, people in America, or England, if you ever come to England, Americans, do yourself a favor, find the Silver Swan and watch it play live. It is one of those beautiful things you see.
Even just watching the footage there, like, makes me think that would look 10 times better in person.
I mean, I tell you where
Like-
I was actually, because they used to be sitting down. I mean, this video is from 6 years ago, so it's
Yeah.
and so that's a Bose, so maybe back at Bose actually, because it was taken out about 10 years ago, so it's probably back now. That's 6 years old.
Probably.
And they didn't make you sit; you could stand close to it. Now I would like stand like right here, watching it go.
Like, it's so cool. Like, that must have taken an ungodly amount of time. Like, that must have taken actual years to put together.
They never used to get the bump about it either. They never used to talk about it. They used to just every 2 hours, a guy would come down, wind it up, and set it away.
Like,
Nice.
oh.
It was a beautiful, beautiful sight.
Ugh. It's like one of like the more like underappreciated parts of history that I really enjoy. Is like the weird obscure little things in art that happened that are incredibly impressive and very few people know about.
Don't get me wrong, paintings.
Things like the Silver Swan, the fucking the bone music box, like
Yeah.
little like isms like that where someone was very clearly bored and went, fuck it, I'ma have a bash at doing that this week. And then they did.
See what they is a painting. Don't get me wrong, paintings can be nice, and music can be nice as well as art.
Yeah, but like,
things like the
they're
Silver Swan.
only so far.
Like
Like,
Silver Swan, which someone had to work out A, how to build it, B, make sure it works still, and be so old and no parts replaced, and still work to this day. A good
Yeah.
300 years after the damn thing was built.
not to mention, someone had to like buy all of find someone who had that much silver on hand,
Yeah.
and then negotiate to get that much silver off of them. That would not have been a cheap task in the 1700s.
Also,
let me tell
what
you.
I'm too sure about is, I can't remember if the beading here for the water was actually silver, or it was glass beading.
I mean, either way, it's so cool.
Because it's like very thin rods, right, and has like little bulges on it, for, like to simulate
Yeah.
water motion. I think now in memory, I think it's glass, which is even more impressive. For the time to get them glass rods that thin and that durable to last as long as it has done, and how delicate the damn thing is.
Listen, like art history is genuinely one of the more fascinating segments of history. For you like when like you're at the level we are with history,
Yeah.
where you know all the mainstream topics. Like God, I could make a more accurate World War II documentary than everything the History Channel's put out in the last 2 decades combined.
Oh, easily.
Like I wish I was kidding when I said that.
But we're not.
Like genuinely.
All history goes like aliens and then Americans won. Bullshit.
Yeah. Unironically, like, cause like I admit I was alive when History Channel was genuinely good still.
Yeah.
And like, if you take everything the History Channel has ever put out about World War II, from the day I was born to right now, genuinely 20 years of content, I could make a more accurate documentary in about a month.
Yeah.
For half the budget, with probably double the amount of people in it,
Yeah, because
with triple the amount of fucking qualifications in it,
yeah.
and actual sources to back up my
Look,
claims.
look at that Netflix special that came out recently on history of that, the ancient apocalypse
that,
shit.
yeah, it was so bad.
It was basically a guy saying the powers that be don't want you to know about this shit, and he literally saw a guy talking bullshit and making the biggest leaps of logic I have ever seen, next to conspiracy theorists saying flat Earth. I mean, one of the ones was the underground stone city.
Yeah.
He generally said, and I quote this, it was a fallout shelter for a meteor strike.
This is the thing, like it's a really interesting place, right? Genuinely really interesting historical location, right? Like all the history stuff, because like we still genuinely don't know a lot about that place, about the underground stone city.
Because not much, because as terms of artifacts go for like dating and stuff, there's not a lot of it there.
There's like fuck all there right now, and also like every couple of years they'll do like a big survey scan on it and go, yeah, there's like another 300 feet down that we just can't get to right now because there's shit in the way, and if we move that shit, the whole thing will collapse.
Because one thing I said was the stone doors they have, the circle doors, are blast doors like Fallout shit.
This is it. You can almost. It's what annoyed me the most about the show, is you can almost follow his logic for 90% of his bullshit, but it's such absurd bullshit at the same time. You can't help but want to punch yourself in the face.
I mean, if you knew nothing about history and were brutalized, following his logic is quite simple.
Like,
but once you realise at least a little bit of cursory history, you think, what is this guy smoking? Can I have some of this?
Yeah, like even it's one of those weird little history shows where like it's good and bad at the same time. For very like historical accuracy, not great.
Yeah,
but learning genuinely interesting things about history, it's good for.
Well, a guy called
like learning that the underground stone city exists. Really cool history thing. A lot of people don't know about it. That's really cool. More people should be made aware of it. But
there's a guy who looks a bit like you, actually. This guy I watch.
Fuck you.
Alright. There he is.
I swear to God, if it's a fat redneck, I'm coming to Newcastle.
No, there he is.
Alright, I can kind of see it. Mainly because I had that hairstyle as a teenager.
Yeah.
Like genuinely, he looks like what I looked like at about 14, 15 years old. And just with a slightly better mustache and skinnier. Yeah, damn.
He's like he was an archaeological student, and now
he looks like an archaeology student. Like, yeah, I fully believe that. He has that kind of face.
I let people say who guy I'm on about. Generally, this guy, he's quite good. He likes to basically debunk pseudo history and like archaeology shit. People like saying,
I like his name. I like Mini Minuteman. I like that. That's really cool.
Now he's actually gone.
That's a fun history reference.
He's gone to some of the archaeological sites. Now, what he also did was he made a 3-part series.
No, I saw this get recommended to me a while ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, he goes through the whole thing to just debunk it so that you don't have to bother watching it.
Yeah, every single episode he did, all 8 of them. He went.
Sadly for me, that was after I was forced to sit through the entire fucking show.
And he debunked it all, every single one of them.
My friend Deborah was around visiting and got right into it and was trying to convert me and my landlord to the cult of the show, and I was watching the entire thing just like, this is the worst shit I've seen since Ancient Aliens came out. I don't know if you will understand, but I'm assuming it's an ADHD thing where sometimes you're watching a thing.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter if there are other people around or not. You have to point out and correct all the the tiniest little fucking isms that are wrong.
Yes.
I do it a lot, especially about history shit that I know about.
Now, what I do like
And
about-
just like for like every like 5 minutes, I was like, okay, so like here's everything wrong with the last 20 minutes of information. Pause the episode while I tell you the last 20 minutes of incorrect information and why. This will take at least 40 minutes.
now what I like about this
Get comfortable, motherfuckers.
is he also did.
I
He
got
did an
told to
episode-
shut up on what that
He
did.
did that on the Baghdad Battery,
Yes.
right? Now he gave out what he knew. Now another guy, which he actually responded to him, and he responded back to the guy as well. Dr. Archaeologist worked on the Baghdad batteries, right? Made a response video about it, and he went through the response video and actually says thanks for like clearing up some things that got wrong
Yeah.
on it.
That's why like in like the historical community like on the internet is like most especially like the ones who are genuinely educated and interesting, not like the fucking weeaboos.
Yeah.
Like, no offense, but like you know what weeaboos I mean.
Yes, I do.
Like, we're like they're going on with an assumption in their head, and then they'll state that belief, and like mainly the weeaboos will go, no, you're an idiot. And they'll go, no, I'm fucking not. And then someone who's genuinely an expert in the field will come and be like, yeah, no, I hate to say it, but the weeaboos are actually right in this one particular instance. You are incorrect, and you're like, oh shit, cool, yeah, no, you're right, actually, like you've presented a valid argument with the evidence. Fair play to you. Like, it's such a chill community like that, where like if you make a mistake,
Yeah.
like the intelligent people that do know will more than happily correct you in quite a polite manner.
I mean, it's like,
They're just like, you're on the right track, but you're a little off base, buddy. Like,
most one I get is like the general argument between, oh, the katana is the best sword in the world, and you got the humans saying, no,
It's
the
just
longsword is
not.
the best sword in the world. It's like, they're built for entirely different scenarios and different.
they're built for
circumstances.
very different scenarios, and both are shit.
You know, the katana.
If we're going for best weapon in the world, both are shit.
It's not the most effective weapon in the world, as one to kill the most people, right? You would have to go for either the halberd or the spear.
But like, see, if we're just talking like swords, right? Fuck pole arms, right? Take them out of the equation. Take blunt weapon out of the equation. Just swords.
Just swords alone.
I would argue personally, there are two choices for the best sword.
Right then.
It has to be, in my personal opinion, just in my preferences, the Gladius or the Khopesh. Those are my two picks for best, for very different reasons.
Right, they're good picks for both. Like you got the Khopesh as Bronze Age and cast swords. So for cast swords, Khopesh was top notch for the Bronze Age. Gladius came towards the Iron Age, Iron Age. Well, again, was a good sword for what it was purpose for us. It was a case of I lost my spear, I'm too close, pokey.
Like, no, because like this is the thing, right? This is a really cool thing about the Gladius that a lot of people don't know about the Gladius.
Mm-hmm.
You know how it's a short sword, right? It's a dinky little sword.
Yeah, technically it's a short.
Yeah,
it's
like
dagger short sword type scenario area.
The way it's designed lengthwise was like it's one of the more interesting sword length choices I've ever seen, because it was done on purpose.
It was, yes.
For a very particular reason. Where a properly made gladius for like a high ranking like Roman officer was built to be a specific exact size and length, so that like he could use it on horseback and it would be the perfect length.
Yeah.
Where he had to lean enough to get umph, but didn't have to lean so far he risked falling to use it on horseback.
The best example,
Meaning it was the ultimate weapon for both mounted cavalry combat and foot like on ground infantry, just like feet on the ground combat.
Now the way I best describe the Gladius.
That's why Gladius is in that list.
Right, is
As for the Khopesh, A, it looks cool.
yeah.
B, it's a big cookery.
It was one of the very first
It's a cookery but sexier.
reverse cookery.
It's still a cookery. It's a cookery but sexier. It's bigger, it's longer, it's uncut. It's got a cooler little fucking angle on its like its tip edge. You know, it's more of a chopping instrument than a cutting instrument.
It was both a
But you
chop and
know what?
slicer.
It looks sexy.
Now what they say, the Gladius. If you're talking about the standard Gladius handed to what they call the standard legionnaires or the conscriptors, that was
Yeah, just like the standard one, not so much. Like I do more mean like the specialty one for like your officers and like higher legionnaires.
to give it an idea, is the Gladiator movie.
Yeah,
Like we see
unironically, they actually mention it in the movie Gladiator at one point about like the length thing, and it's one of my favorite things about that movie because it's a true history fact.
you tell at the beginning, like Marcus when he's mounted sword, his it's also called Gladius, right, is slightly longer than the standard the sword was for the most of the officers. Because again,
Yes.
in Roman combat, they were spears first, and when the spears broke or got large and couldn't get them back out, you would switch the short sword to basically poke through your shield at people.
Yes.
That's what it was designed for.
Also, I'll be 2 seconds. I'm just gonna pop a light on. Just give me 2 seconds. It's getting dark.
Now, if they can still hear me,
There we go. Right, my light is on. Actually, 2 more seconds. I'm gonna grab a thing. Hang on, wait. Wait, hang on. Hang on, wait. Wait, hang on. Hang on, wait.
hold
Wait, I've not sat back down yet.
on.
Wait.
If you feel like
Hang on, wait.
letting go.
Wait, hang on. Hang on, wait. Right. Okay, go. Sorry.
Yeah, my picks would either be the Zweihander,
Oh, it's Zweihander.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
or if I'm going like the east side of the market, right? I would either be, 'cause there's 2 on the eastern side. I would pick. One would be the Kogras Maru,
Yeah.
which was the first sword to have that slight curve in it for slicing. Right, and it by appeal exists in a museum still. You can go and see it.
It does, yes.
Right, or it would have to be the Itachi, the actual war sword,
I'm gonna say, like, yeah.
because the katana was not took into warfare, people. That was purely
Yeah,
a dueling sword for samurais to carry on their belt. In
Even the
case something-
Talwar, to be honest with you, like, because the Talwar is literally just an Itachi, but slightly smaller.
No, the towel was longer actually. It's got that.
Is it the
dual-
longer one? I can never remember which one's the bigger one, to be fair. Like,
Yeah,
I just remember it's like one was used for combat, the other one was basically used for deck measuring.
right, when the warfare you had the Dachi, which was that was about
Basically a meat cleaver with extra steps.
which was like a long katana with a dual handle on it.
Yeah, it was like a long meat cleaver.
The
Was the
Talwar
Itachi. It was weird.
Had almost like a Itachi style length blade, so not as long as an Adachi, but had a massive like 4 palm to 5 palm handle on it,
Yeah, it was like a pole arm.
which was,
It
which was
weird.
basically the precursor to the Naginata.
Yeah,
Right?
but even the Ashigaru to an extent.
The Ashigaru was a double-edged sword actually, which was the odd one. The
Yeah, but like it was also on a stick.
Yeah.
Like it was a katana spear. It was a weird
mean,
little
if you wanted-
weapon, and I love it.
A Naginata, if you want to comparison to the Naginata for most people, is you would probably look at D&D would be the glaive,
Yeah,
being Naginata. How glaives are depicted
Right.
in D&D. The Itachi is actual war sword samurais took into warfare after they broke their pole armor bow.
to be fair, like I'll give you Zweihander in fairness. Like
Zweihander is a nice, big, meaty, two-handed. Not
it
quite,
is because like
not quite as big as a claymore, but sturdier than a claymore, to my mind.
Because like this is like Dryhanders and Claymores, like to me, I just think that sounds strange coming from a Scottish guy, but both have the same issues. Like for me personally,
Long,
as a weapon of choice,
too big, really.
they're too cumbersome. They're too like lengthwise. I don't mind them. Weight-wise, they're always just too much.
But I don't
Like
think they use them
they're
wrong.
a bit.
How they depict
Whereas,
in
like-
movies, it's
Like
used wrong.
if I'm going like a two-handed weapon, Bastard Sword personally is like that's my upper limit for weight.
Yeah, about 5
like-
pounder.
Yeah, like five, anywhere from like 5 to 8. That's my comfort zone.
Mm-hmm.
Any more than that, it's gonna be uncomfortable to wield. Any lighter than that, it's gonna just be unwieldy.
Now,
It's not gonna do what I want it to do because
the problem is
it's just gonna be too quick and flimsy.
I mean, it's
you
like
know?
the question I brought out: does a Cloud's Buster Sword actually work in real life, or is it too? Given the size of it, how it's supposed to be, is it too big
So-
and heavy to actually be used? Now this
So
question,
I've watched a few videos about it, and like theoretically, technically, yes.
yeah, it depends on how you use it.
It depends A on how you use it, and B more specific, like more importantly, what it's made out of.
Yeah,
Like more traditional metals like steels and irons, no, you'd break your back.
no, a steel version.
You'd break your back pretty much immediately.
No, a steel version
If
would
it was like carbon fiber, would like a welded steel like edge. Yeah, no, it would be quite an effective, dangerous weapon.
Now, for the strength, if you're using like cast iron, pig iron, or bronze, right, like the earlier metals, yeah, it's useless. It's too heavy because the amount of
Yeah.
metal you need to make it strong enough to actually wield to snap in half is too much. Now, if you made out of
You wouldn't get it off the ground with those metals.
made like a Tamahagame steel or a nice Damascus,
Actually, like Damascus or Tamahage it would work well with actually.
a good quality steel store around middle aged steel, it would work quite well. Now the problem people have, again, with like the Claymore and the Zweihander, is how to use it. A lot of people in movies have a habit of saying, "Oh, it was used like in 1-on-1 combat fighting this guy." In video games, it's the same thing.
They were crowd busters.
Only show that I know of that doesn't depict it as a dueling sword type scenario would be Guts Rage.
David, I think my favorite example of, I mean, just weaponry in general, in terms of like crowd busting potential, the Dynasty Warrior games are always on point for that.
Yes.
Their dueling systems are not great, but in terms of like that realistic feeling of like, I have a big pokey stick, I'm gonna kill 500 people with one swing.
Yeah,
they're perfect for that. Like, it's like that's what medieval combat was just. Yeah. I am a lord with like plate mail, and I'm up against 500 peasants wearing a shirt and wielding a poking stick.
Yes, which is what a medieval knight was. A medieval knight was basically the version of a tank.
It was essentially a Tiger 4 in like the year 1500, but it was just a dude. Instead of a dude with wheels, it was just a dude.
I mean, a mounted knight is equivalent to a Challenger M12 running across a battlefield. You know,
a mounted knight was a Freebrooms right there. That was a Freebrooms. That was the M1 Freebrooms, baby.
Nah, I was a Challenger 2.
Right, especially
mounted.
It's got the long range of the spear. It's got the fucking pure killing potential with the sword. Some knights, like European knights, were even like able to do mounted archery. Yeah. Not a lot of them, granted, but some. So like, it's basically a Freebrooms.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. In the Japanese combat, a samurai would generally be an archer first, and then when they're close enough for the archer not to work, they'd move to a polearm. Once the polearm broke, then they would move on to the sword.
Which, for the record, if you're on a horse, there's no such thing as too close.
Yeah.
Unless the person you're trying to shoot is also on a horse.
Well, no.
And has a spear.
In
which case, where their spear ends is too close.
The problem with Japanese bows is the English longbow which was classed as one of the best bows in the world, was the height of the wielder.
Yes.
So back in the medieval period, talking like 5'2", 5'3".
I would say the Japanese, I think it was like a similar design with the Mongol bows, where theirs were tiny.
Mongols were tiny. The Japanese bows
were dinky little fucking thing.
Huge. They're talking like 8.
No, I always think it's the Chinese that had the big fuck. No, you're right. It's the Japanese that had the big fuck off one. Yeah.
Yeah, the Japanese had a big, like nearly 8 foot some of the back.
They were like fucking 8.5 foot fucking long. Like they were ridiculous.
And they were powerful bows, but once you got close enough into them, they became useless. Which is when they switched to polearms.
Even still,
you know,
even if I'm wielding an 8 fucking foot bow, there's no such thing as too close unless you're on a horse with a spear.
Now,
in which case, the end of your spear is too close.
Now, here's an interesting fact for you. You know bat'leth combat in Star Trek? The Klingons bat'leth.
Yes.
Do you know that's modelled off?
If you'd asked me that about 5-6 years ago, when I was hyper fixating on Star Trek, absolutely. Back when I was trying to learn Klingon via Duolingo.com, yes, I would have told you that instantly. I'm not even shitposting. I genuinely tried to learn Klingon at one point in my life. It's a very difficult language.
My dad had like all the tips to learn Klingon. Now thoughts.
Listen, you can do it for free on Google. Just Duolingo. They've got an entire course for Klingon on Duolingo.
They do, but Duolingo follows the Discovery era Klingon.
No. I mean, they might do it now. Like originally, like a few years ago when they first released it, it was like TNG Klingon.
No, they don't do it now. It's basically Discovery era Klingon where
have they updated it?
Different. Yeah,
that's sad.
bat'leth combat was actually designed around what's called close range bow fighting.
That makes sense, actually, because it's like the same kind of a shape.
Yeah,
it's like that makes sense.
Yeah, because when people got too close to archers, they learned a technique of like basically quarterstaffing using the bow, and the curve of the bow allow for sweep.
Basically, twatting with the stick.
Yes, and they use a bow to pull them down off of horses and stuff like the string, and the whole version of combat using just a bow itself. And it's very effective.
Bulk your way to victory, baby. Fucking.
That's why in Robin Hood, when he's fighting Little John, you see him fighting with a quarterstaff, and he wins.
Yes,
because he learned the bow fight technique in order to do that, which is a niche part of history people don't realize it actually existed.
Like it was like it's one of those weird things about like medieval combat that like pretty much translated universally. like most cultures on planet Earth that had archers figured out that, like, yeah, archers are like naturally going to be good with polearms just by default because it's a very similar weapon.
Yeah. Now,
Like,
no one's aware with Mongols because their bows were quite what we call short bow. They were very
yeah,
small.
they were dinky little things, but they were devastating things
Although
at the same
powerful.
time.
They're powerful because
They were
used,
disgustingly powerful
because
for their
they were the
size.
very first version of a compound bow. They
They
used wood,
were,
then
like-
board overlays to give the extra strength to launch out some like devastating shots at long range, but still a short bow. By comparison.
Like the Mongol bow for the time period was like that time period's equivalent of like a 50 BMG.
Yeah,
Like it would put a golf ball sized hole in a man if you let it. It
No.
was ridiculous.
no, the Mongol bow was equivalent of many like if you've gone modern weapons. It's equivalent of giving a it would be equivalent of giving like a many like at that time period in our time period would be like a AR-15 in terms of output.
I feel like it would probably be like somewhere between like a Deagle and a Smith and Wesson.
No, being
It's
AR-15.
somewhere in that range.
You know how easy it was to use and how effective it was. It'll be about the AR-15 style.
Yeah, so like probably like a Smith and Wesson 500 bone collector.
Now,
Powerful bastard, big round, way less recoil than you'd expect.
the English longbow would be the equivalent in our modern terms as the 308.
So that's like 308, 30-06 maybe.
Yeah, the Japanese
Right.
bought version is the BF is a Barrett 50.
Yeah,
That thing could shoot accurately for long ranges.
I'll give you that. Yeah,
Right now,
like you're right. Yeah,
honestly, right, I know crossbows were invented for ease of use. By the time
they were so shit. Crossbows are so shit.
they had long,
I fucking hate crossbows so much.
they had long range, but how long it took? It took like one shot every minute. If you're
That's
looking.
what it's like if you got hay fever, and you try to load a crossbow and you sneeze, you're blowing your foot off.
Yeah. Now,
Like you're putting a forever hole in your foot. You're gonna have that foot amputated, and you're gonna die of gangrene.
Now, with the longbows, you could fire 6 aim shots every minute.
Mhm.
With the Mongol bow, I think it was something like they got like 12 shots every minute or so because of how short it was.
Yeah,
The Anachi, I think it's called, the Japanese one, you got 8 long shots, which got about double the range of the English longbow was on those ones. But in the test comparison of it, and that's killing shots, people, not like just how far you can run and just like lazily hits the ground. You don't actual penetration shots.
yeah, like proper plink, you're fucked kind of of a range.
The Mongol
right?
had like 100 yards. The English longbow had effective range of about 200. And
Was
the-
it like
it
I've heard
touched
some sources claim up to 250, but like 200's more believable.
Depending, I mean, given the average power of the bow was about 100 pounds in a day. You got some people who could do a 200 pound. Like Rowan Ho was probably like a 200 pound bow. He used, which could get that range. But the average was about 100 pound. The Japanese one could do 350 to 400. But again, it's a very large, powerful bow
Yeah,
by comparison. Alright, now a crossbow technically has an effective range of around 500 yards for one bolt. But the time it takes to reload and fire that one shot, kind of like, I mean, I know people that was banned because any peasant could pick up the crossbow and take a kill shot. That's
Yeah.
not true. That's a myth.
Because
Because you had the strength to load the damn thing first.
which like most of your peasants were surviving off of like bread and porridge.
Yeah.
They didn't have the upper body strength for that behavior.
Yeah, I mean, most bowmen's trained all. I mean, if you saw some scout structures of like medieval bowmen, like their right shoulder bones and backbones are distorted to fuck.
Yes.
They're thicker, heavier compared to the left ones, just because of the sheer factor of pulling that bow back and firing all the time. You know, crossbows didn't require that, but still, it wasn't cost-effective way of using combat.
Yeah.
It wasn't until like the musket came around that you could have like true peasantry firearm to be effective. Even then,
And even then, I feel like if I was in like musket combat, like proper musket line combat, I'd rather have the crossbow. Quite frankly,
I mean, if I was,
I'd rather like in that fight, I'd rather have either a crossbow or a bow and arrow. Because you know what, the load time for muskets were dreadful.
I mean,
You had a better survival chance if you had a bow and arrow or crossbow.
yeah,
You could
bows-
load quicker.
bows were still effective right up until like the early 17th century, before Fire on 3 started making a big comeback. But that was only purely cut down technique of people like the line formation, like dual line loading and firing. And
Yeah.
the idea of gentleman combat where line up, okay, your side fires first, then my side fires. Cool with that? Great. You know,
Excellent, lads. Tally ho. Oh, fuck, everyone died in one go. Good.
Yeah.
They must have invented rifle boarding.
like no, rifle board didn't come around to the 18th century actually. For rifles
I,
came around.
I know, and it annoys me. Why did it take us that long to figure it out? Oh, if we put grooves in the barrel, we don't miss and nail the neighbour's dog.
Well, sorry, I tell lie.
How helpful.
Tell lie. There was a one musket called the hexagon round musket, which had boring, and it had
Yeah,
special
that
rounds
was-
to go with it.
I had a special round. It was shit.
That was quite effective, but again,
It was effective, but like it was shit.
it
It
cost too much to make.
was
For
too
now.
expensive.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
You know, it was one of those weird weapons out. Was beautiful, but too expensive to make. So they just went, "Yep, here's a ball. Shove down there some cotton. You fire that way when I tell you to. Then stand
Yeah.
there and let them shoot you for next." And
Like it was trying to be too designer and bespoke, you know.
yeah, it was a idea of like a gentleman duel between armies. It's like armies are. There's one quote I love, which was, "Armies are glorified fart contests."
Pretty much, yeah.
You know, they're dirty, stinky, and no one comes out clean at the other end of it.
It's
You
not
know?
an incorrect statement.
But also, bring back the archery. It brings back the idea of the British two fingers up, fuck you thing. That was an insult given to the French because our archers were better.
Yes.
So when they kept kind of called British Army, the French just cut them fingers off.
Yes.
That's a great part about history.
Dude, most of Britain's funnier parts of history is just us fucking with the French.
Yeah.
Like, remorselessly. Just.
Also, one of the thing myth is the fact if a knight, full plate knight falls on his back, he can't get up.
Yeah, no,
That
they
is
can't.
utter
Very easily.
Bullshit.
No, if they fall on their back into a river, yeah, no, they're dead. They're going to drown.
Yeah.
If it's just like dry grass, or like a pile of leaves, or God forbid a wheat field, they're fine.
I mean, people be honest,
Like,
right?
you fucking kidding me? That's like I'm fat as fuck. Even I can get up like, from the ground while wearing plate mail. I got shit knees.
I mean, yeah, plate mail was heavy, around 75
It was
pounds
heavy,
to
but
100
like yeah,
pounds.
it wasn't like pin you to the floor forever
But
heavy.
that's that though. The knights who wore it day in, day out for months on end.
Yeah,
I mean, during wartime, they were welded into them suits of armor. They
So,
never
like-
took it off.
even during like their day to day, like outside of like war, like yeah, they weren't wearing it 24/7 or
Yeah,
nothing.
but they always wore like heavy.
But like they were still gonna be wearing it for a majority of their day, because a majority of their day was training with their swords.
yeah, even like say like, a knight would walk around casually, like going to dinner.
Yeah,
He'd still be wearing chainmail under his general
Yes.
clothing, as
just in case.
unless he's going purely for like orders for the king. In his day-to-day life, just so he doesn't get assassinated by another lord trying to take his land, he's still wearing chainmail 90% of the time.
And even then, even if I'm going to like a private consult with the king, I'm still wearing fucking chainmail underneath. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, and then
If any of us going to assassinate me, it's the king.
you gotta remember back then, those clothes,
Sorry,
were,
voice. I fucking caught my cable with my foot.
those clothes were made out of heavy wool, so they
Yes,
weighed
yes.
a ton by
Yes,
comparison
they
to
were
one-day
heavy.
clothing. You know,
Fucking-
so an average day walk around in like what you call fancy garb, still weigh the best part of 20 pounds of weight on your body.
Yes.
You know, so the myth comes from is during a fight with the French cavalry marched onto the British lines, and the British line went up a hill. And between the French and the British was a patch of boggy mud,
Yes.
which the horses fell into, the knights fell into, and got caught in like the vacuum lock that you do in quicksand a little bit.
Yes. The knights basically drowned in mud.
Yeah, so the British walked
It's
over,
a pretty nasty way to go.
so the British walked over and just pressed them back into the mud so they drowned.
Yeah.
Yes, that would work. That would work for anybody who felt that kind of shit.
Yes.
In any heavy clothing would be stuck there. But
Hell, if you fell into that stark bollock naked, I could still kill you.
But that's where the myth came from. Was that heavy mounted knights, if hit the ground, were basically can't get up and can't move. That's utter.
No.
I saw the video of a guy who practiced with medieval armor full weight, and he ran the military obstacle course for boot camp in the same time a fully laden modern soldier did.
Yes.
In fact, I think he beat his time actually, and even though armor was heavier, I think he actually beat his time by about 5 seconds. You know,
Like it's
those armors were designed to be moved in because like a military, designed for combat, not just like.
it's not comfortable to move in, but it's
No.
easy to move in.
I mean, I think part of the myth also comes from the jousting armor, which again was totally differently designed compared to combat armor.
It mainly because like it was shit. Like it was.
No, it was heavier.
It was heavier, but it was shit at the same time.
Because only designed to take a glancing blow off a wooden stick that broke in half. So it had some thick plates on it so it didn't kill each other. Which, yes, that's hard to get up into. But still, the knights knocked off the horses, because when you knocked off a horse in jousting, they still got back up and continued what's called the ground sword fight phase of the joust.
At least in some tournaments. Other tournaments had like a fucking free fucking horse system. Others had fucking point systems.
Yeah,
it was weird.
It changed.
Jousting was a complicated sport for a very long time.
I mean, in the early days of joust, it was like hit, 2 knock off, 1 knocked off, go to sword combat. Right?
Yeah, like actually, for anyone at home who's like interested like about like how jousting like worked, especially like in the European League specifically.
Mm-hmm.
Like while it's a piss take movie and not
Knight's
like
Tale.
the most historically Knight's Tale,
Mm-hmm.
every day, like
Knight's
just,
Tale's not
while
far
it's
off.
a piss take movie that's not the most historically accurate thing in the world. It is way more historically accurate than it has any fucking right to be.
Yeah, it's not. It's
For a piss take movie starring Heath Ledger, it is better than it has any right to be from every
I think the
possible
only problem with the
perspective.
Knight's Tale jousting scene is that I think it's about 50 years too early. For the
Yeah,
scene
it's
setting.
like slightly off, like with like its exact time frame, but even still, it gives you a good idea of what the time periods were like.
Because the time periods
Right.
that Knight's Tale takes place in, they're still doing the knockoff and sword combat as combined arts, whereas for
In the
50
movie
years after,
itself, they're separate
separate
tournaments,
events.
like separate events at the same tournament. Yeah,
I think the main change started coming around like Henry VIII was a big proponent of the separate event markers
yeah.
because he was a spearman, horse spearman for his fighting style. Even though apparently, according to legends and the books, he could wield a claymore one-handed.
Yes, which makes sense because like
He was
look at
massive.
what Henry VIII looked like.
Yeah.
Like when you think Henry VIII, your brain naturally thinks short, fat,
He was.
and you're not far away. You're half right.
Oh, he's fat.
Like yeah, he was fat as fuck. Man died of gout. He was fat as fuck, but he was also like 8'7". He was fucking massive.
You're talking like blind blessed size. Height.
Yeah. Like unironically, I've been campaigning for years for us to get a fucking Henry VIII documentary with Brian Blessed playing Henry VIII.
I tell you what,
Because he's the most qualified person for it.
there's 2 people. One's dead now, right? There's Brian Blessed, and the guy who played oh fuck me, man. Harry Potter, groundskeeper.
Yeah, Hagrid.
Robbie Coltrane.
Sorry, I was too far away from my microphone to pick it up. Hagrid.
Robbie
Eddie
Coltrane. Yeah,
Yeah,
He'd
Robbie
be-
Coltrane would have been a good pick. Yeah.
yeah. Robbie Coltrane's physique was what you expect from Henry VIII.
It was perfect. He was tall, he was bulked, like dye his hair ginger, he would have been fucking spot on.
Now you got to remember is people back in them days, given the average height now is about 5'9", 5'6" to 5'9" for a man. In
Yeah,
England.
back in medieval times, it was like 3-4 foot. Like we
Many
were
times, an average height was 5 foot to 5'1". A tall person was 5'3".
yeah.
I think Henry VIII
Like Henry VIII was like 6'3", 6'4".
I think Henry VIII was tired.
He was genuinely fucking massive.
Was either my height or about 6 foot. I'm 5'11", so he's about 5'11" to 6 foot.
I believe he was. Yeah, I think he was actually over 6 foot. I genuinely, if I remember rightly, he was about 6'3".
I know we're giving some like distortion for the context of size back in the day for ruling measurements.
No, like is the fucking like the famous story about how Henry VIII's corpse exploded.
Mm-hmm.
It's like partially like people like think it further than it is.
Yeah.
His flesh exploded, but his skeleton is still intact.
Wait, he burst from fucking gut rot.
Yeah, but no, his skeleton with like what is still like fully intact, and like they've been able to use the skeleton to guesstimate that he was about 6'4".
Yeah, he was a big man for the day.
He was fucking huge. He was insane.
Yeah, he was a. I mean, people
Like
think.
man genuinely had gigantism. It was strange.
I mean, I know Braveheart. I know your favorite film.
Yeah.
You got Mel
No,
Gibson.
Sorry,
And-
real quick. I have a story to follow this up with about Braveheart, and then we're
Yeah.
gonna jump to a different topic. Okay, so go.
So Mel Gibson is playing like the main character, and Mel
Yes.
Gibson's around the 5'11" mark.
William Wallace.
Yeah, William Wallace. He's about 5'11" mark. William Wallace, actual height, I believe, was 5'1".
Incorrect.
Wasn't it? Was I 5'1", 5'4"? Wasn't very tall.
Neither. Neither. Again, this is a thing a lot of people get very wrong. Mainly because it was a historical belief for several hundred years. And do you know where the belief that William Wallace was really short actually comes from?
Where's that?
Right? Like when I say it, you'll immediately go, yeah, no, of course, that makes perfect sense. It was English propaganda, believe it or not?
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. But as far as I remember, they did do a measurement and he's about 5'4".
No. The most recent because we don't have William Wallace's body. We have bits of it, just not enough to get all. We have like half of a leg,
Yeah.
his shoulder, his head, and like part of his chest. We don't really have enough to get an accurate guess, but based on the bits of his skeleton we do have, and like his very famous claymore, it's currently guesstimated that he might have been about 6'7", possibly, maybe.
Now, again, the problem with the Claymore, and it's my biggest thing, is the Claymore they display in Scotland isn't the original Claymore.
It is not. No, it is a reproduction.
Yeah, because the original Claymore, for the height of Claymore, was a man and a half,
Yes.
right? And it's measured to the man wielding it.
Yes.
Now, going for the original Claymore that did exist before reproduction was made, right? It would put him around the 5'4", 5'5" mark,
Yes.
which is what I'm going off for his height. Is
Yes.
that size, which would make about sense for the day and age, for being a tall man in the day and age. I would say about make sense for his height wise.
But do you know what is what is the factor that like is basically like fueling like the current investigations into William Wallace's height?
Mm-hmm.
They actually found the original sword a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
Just the Queen just had it in her in a fucking cupboard somewhere. Like it was like like the royal family like genuinely just has a reliquary.
Yeah,
just
it does.
tucked away of just like random like historical relics.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. One of like our fucking like the royal relic or like relic masters or some shit was just digging through a box and found it. Like I'm not even this was like 2018 2019. It's been in the Queen's basement for like 600 years.
The problem even that though, even though they say
It's genuinely really good nick as well. Like fucking, it's apparently in near pristine condition, but the handles are screwed.
again, both sides of Scotland and England saying it's a fake sword.
I mean, no.
Because people saying it's just the royal family trying to appease the Scottish because the referendum
No,
they're trying to pull off.
it's been carbon dated and everything. Like it's
Steel
pretty
matches.
like almost everything like that can say it's legit is saying it's legit. The only stuff it isn't saying it's legit is stuff that we can't do yet.
Yeah, because saying like the rap's wrong or that's the problem with this part of history.
But this is the thing as well. Is like, with the argument of like, oh, the rap's wrong. Like, yeah, we don't know that though because there's like 4 different stories for what his handle looked like.
Yeah, that's the problem. With this part of history, the propaganda on both sides was so severe that you cannot determine what's correct.
Like, cause we know there's like 2 stories about what his sword looked like are like true-ish. Like one of like the older descriptions of William Wallace's sword from when he was younger, we believe to probably be true, where it was basically just a standard ass sword with a wooden handle.
Yeah.
And then one of the more fantasized versions, but like there's some evidence to suggest it's true, is that after like don't ask me which battle, but one of the battles he had. He didn't fully skin, but he took some skin from an English general and wrapped the handle of his sword in the skin of one of the fallen generals. There's some evidence to say that did happen, but there's no evidence to definitively say that it was William Wallace who did that. There's evidence to say that did happen at a battle during the war.
Yeah.
No evidence to say William Wallace was responsible for that, though.
Because supposedly it was a guy who raped his wife that he skinned.
No, it was. No, the man that raped his wife was his first kill. The skin of the general was, I think it was the general of his first actual warfare victory. Because it was a sheriff. No. Yeah, so. Here's what it was. So he was fishing, right?
Yeah.
And I think it was it was either a sheriff or like a taxman caught him fishing and tried to like take some of his fish as a tax.
Yes.
So he killed him, went back home, and like a few days later a sheriff turned up and basically torched his fucking village and raped his wife. So he tracked down said sheriff and killed them in their sleep, which basically kicked off the whole fucking war.
Yes.
It was the next battle after that where the skinning supposedly took place, and again there's some sketchy historical like references in that to back it up,
But not many.
but like yeah, not many, and also there's not a lot of evidence that William Wallace did the skinning or used the skin, but like there's enough evidence to say a general was skinned after that battle.
Yes.
We don't know if he was alive or dead, we don't know who the fuck he was, but like it probably happened for what the skin was used for. Again, there's a lot of stories saying it was used to wrap the handle of a sword.
Yes.
Some of those stories say it was William Wallace's sword. Others don't say whose sword it was, so... mate.
I mean, some
It's-
of the stories on William Wallace are brilliant, because the one was saying that he was when he was taken from the village as an orphan, you know, he travelled the world even down as far as being the Crusades and learned Latin and Arabic and shit, and came back not with a claymore, but with a Zweihilder or that what's that Arab cleave sword.
Yeah.
I can't remember
And,
his name.
yeah, I
off the top
know
of
the
my
one
head.
you mean. Yeah.
There's like a big fat head but thin towards the back end, dual-handed thing.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember what it's called off the top of my head now.
I know the one, like, war cleaver, essentially.
Yeah, it was either that he was using and not a claymore. You know, there's many a tale from both sides of what was carried in the battle, and no one knows the truth. Be honest.
I mean, in fairness, like my personal headcanon for it is, like, pretty much every weapon that, like, it said William Wallace used at some point,
Yeah.
he used. Because, like, to me, like, he was a rebel, like, in the forest, fighting a much larger army.
Yes.
It would make sense he'd do that kind of guerrilla warfare thing of, oh no, my sword broke. Oh look, a corpse with a different sword. I'll just use that sword.
Now, the two
Like,
things I
that
do.
makes sense to me that he would occasionally just break swords and just pick up the next nearest weapon.
Now, the two things I do believe as part of his tale was, one, he was adopted by an Englishman who took him around and trained him.
Mhm.
Now, that Englishman was said to come from Durham. Now, the reason why I believe that for is the County Durham itself is one of those areas which has been Scottish, English throughout its entire history.
Yes.
Right? So that's very easy to believe. Did he learn Latin?
Probably
Yes.
not.
No, that's it, probably it. If you talk about English gentlemen, like English knight, then the other them learn Latin as part of like war training. I suppose.
I mean, yeah, I suppose, yeah.
would be quite possible. Arabic,
Especially if you believe he got taken out to the Crusades, yeah, he probably would have been taught Latin on the lead up to that. Like, that would make sense.
That's where I get a bit more lost. To go in the Crusades, I doubt it. To go to France, engage in some combat like scuffles in France, that I believe, because he did learn French.
Yes.
That I can't believe he learned French, Latin, and English during that campaign, because that night did go to France to take part in the
I would say
campaign.
that's what we know for a fact he went to France several times as well.
Yeah, as a child.
Like, not just as a child, but also as an adult, he did make several trips out to France because he was trying to talk the French into joining his coup against the English.
Yes.
And it's one of the few things where, like, I'm almost proud of Braveheart. Because, like, they mentioned that in the film. They have a couple scenes of, like, William Wallace doing that in the film.
Yeah.
But then they completely fuck it.
Yeah, because the French come to him.
No, it's not even that I hate. It's the fact that they have him fall in love with a random French princess, and then if you look up said French princess, she would have been about 12 at the time.
Yeah. I mean, one moment.
Like, which even for the French was too young, because William Wallace would have been about 30.
Yeah.
It's like even the French would have looked at that idea and went, fucking no, pal. That's a bit far even for us.
I mean, there's a anime I watched called The Gate where they basically go to medieval land and one people go over as a negotiator. And this 12-year-old girl falls in love with the negotiator who's in his 30s.
Yeah.
And he does like take it as his bride, but he says he's just. But,
It's basically Pocahontas, but like way more fucked.
but what,
Like,
he says in the actual is like, I'm going to wait till she's 16 before we marry. But in context,
oh, how fucking polite of you.
but in context though, in medieval time, kids like girls like were like engaged at like 6 years old, And
Yeah,
they were
they'd
engaged.
like prearranged the engagement in the marriage, and like you were basically engaged right up until like you were like both parties were of age. Then the marriage occurred, and
Yeah.
no one got a say in the
Usually
matter.
about
Really.
14 to 15 actually was when you
Yeah.
became an adult. Now,
Yeah.
in rare cases, if it was a very high political marriage, said 12-year-old would be married to a 40-year-old.
Yes.
But that's usually in cases where that king already has like 5 wives anyway. And
Yeah.
it's basically just like an extra wife just to carry political favour between countries. And that
And even then, it's more a case of like this 12-year-old has no family. They're gonna lose their land to a horrible rebellion. It's a regent with extra steps. Fuck it.
or kids like if she's like the 7th
It's
daughter.
this or the kid is beheaded by the peasants. Let's just sell the child. It's quicker.
Another one was is like, say a family had like 5 daughters. You know, one go you said the first one after the most political, and as you go down the line, it's like, well, there's not many
Well,
good
you're
kings left.
valueless to us. Fucking.
We'll carry to favour this local king. It happened mostly during the Anglo-Saxon period, where the country was divided into very small kingdoms.
Yeah.
Happened, rather than in what they call the Dark Ages, where we had a major king that ruled over the entire country. It was generally like the more smaller kingdoms that happened to carry favour between the two kingdoms, type shit.
And even like earlier than that, like back when like the Saxon, like not Saxons, right, the Viking invasions were happening, where like it was genuine, like each county was a separate kingdom for a while.
That's what I'm about, the Anglo-Saxon period.
Yeah, because like they could basically use that for like, oh, that well, like the king and the prince is dead, my daughter's the only survivor, so I inherit the land, yay!
Yeah, it was a case of
No,
way
like,
of
That was
bridging-
basically the plot the entire time for like 800 years,
And usually what
and
happened,
then like it worked for someone.
and usually the marriage was the case of, well, we need to end this war in an amicable way that people can accept. We marry our 12-year-old daughter off to the 12-year-old prince,
Yeah.
and that bounds our two nations together better than any peace treaty would, which actually worked quite well. For most.
Surprisingly, like the peasants were surprisingly chill with, oh, we don't have to kill them anymore because like our kings got married, yay!
Yeah,
It's like, what the? Why did that work?
it worked.
Why are you all so chill all of a sudden?
Compared to peace treaty and trade treaties, the marriage to use as a treaty negotiation point first off was very effective by comparison to anything else.
It was very effective from like both sides of it as well. Like the nobles were really into that, and the peasants were really chill about it, and it doesn't make sense from either perspective.
The problem with how it worked was the issue is the attacking one that lost, right? So say one kingdom lost, they would what happened is the winning kingdom would then hand over the daughter as a proof of life
Yes,
to the losing kingdom. So give birth to.
I believe there was also traditional, like in those circumstances, that would be considered a matrilineal wedding as well, as opposed to a patriarchal wedding.
No, because
So basically, like if like all descendants of like the losing family died, then like rather than like the prince becoming the king, the like now princess would become the queen instead.
yeah, then they were married. If there was only the princess left of the opposing kingdom who lost the war, then they'll send a son over, and he would then take over. She technically had the right to the throne, but he would take the power to rule as her regent or king consort. The other way around, where a male did survive, then the winning kingdom would send a daughter over to carry on the line
Yeah.
and bind the kingdom together. Which again, in medieval politics was a very effective technique.
Well, because it was like the number one thing was like keep your bloodline going.
Yes.
Like, so we still had that leftover bit of DNA inside of our coding, you know, fucking just
Yeah, and all, like,
make babies, make babies, make babies. It was still hard coded into our shit, so like...
I mean, especially as now, I mean, during wartime, more babies produce than anything else because they're a natural thing. We may die, so let's leave offspring behind. It's hard to widen our DNA as a standpoint.
Like, it's just not as hardwired in as it was back then.
Oh no, it's still...
Like, back then they actively thought about it, whereas like now you don't really think about it that much.
Well, to give you an example, the amount of rape that happened in Vietnam, right, and the American rape and the Vietnamese was so high because of that basic drive for the soldiers, panicking thing, tomorrow we might die. I want to leave some kind of child behind. Was what caused that epidemic.
To be fair, that was a whole different ballpark though. Like, Vietnam wasn't, like, can't even call Vietnam a war. Vietnam was a fucking whitewashing. Vietnam was a disaster through and through.
But that for psychological point of that still proves the fact that even in one man, that drive to reproduce in times of like massacres and harsh bloodshed is encoded in our DNA as one of the strongest urges we have.
Yeah.
You know, and again, it also, like say, marriage worked because the idea is, well, the princess is the daughter of our king and their children will relate to our king, therefore we can't harm them now. And that works very effective as a deterrent. towards.
So anyway, as delightfully pleasant as this whole topic is,
Yes, changing gears.
yes, changing gears, because I have two really fun topics I want to talk about.
Yeah,
And I genuinely mean really fun.
we have some
Like,
we have some game review from Vegas and some Monday
I
scuffle
have-
around said game.
yeah, okay, technically I have 3 topics then. Because I was just gonna do like the game review and the game controversy is like one big topic, and then I've got a second topic after that. But like, yeah,
We're going to buy
So-
the two still.
by your numbers I have 3 topics. By my numbers I have 2 topics. But I digress.
Let's start with the game
So,
review
yes.
first.
Let's
That'll be quicker.
let me introduce the game, and then we'll briefly discuss the controversy and why it's stupid, and then we'll get into the game review because the controversy is guff.
I can't
Right.
I can't view this game because I can't play it because Microsoft's an asshole.
Yes, happily I can play it, and I have put fucking too many hours into it so far. It's incredibly fun. The game in question. Some of you may have heard of it. Right? I mean, I don't think everyone will have heard of it. It's quite an obscure little indie game. It's called Starfield.
Yeah, it's one of
So
the,
let me just start.
it's not the biggest game released
Yeah,
of the past
Starfield.
this year.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie to you, Fat Man T. It's my game of the year. I've decided that it's game of the year this year for me.
I mean, it's only
Like
made,
wholeheartedly, it's getting the game of the year award off me this year. It's so good.
it's only made by a small company called Bethesda. You know, it's not really worth talking
Yeah,
about.
you probably haven't heard of them. They make this really obscure little RPG series called I think it's like Tumble Down, Slip Away, Fallout. That's Fallout. That's what it's called.
Fallout and that other skew one that did the Elder Scrolls series.
I can hear the Obsidian nerds crying at this bit. I can hear them crying and cringing, which is funnier because I'm an Obsidian nerd. But anyway,
No, I can hear, right? I can hear the Diablo fans just like crying to their soup.
yeah.
That's what I hear. I hear the Diablo fans just like breaking down in tears.
Well, yeah, because Diablo 4 is fucking shit. But anyway, so Starfield. So there's a bit of a controversy going on at the minute with Starfield, and Fatman T, I think it's the single stupidest fucking thing the internet's ever complained about ever in life.
Oh, it is considered as an RP fucking G and the thing.
Oh
called
no,
Imagination.
just like it's like you know like the gentle gist of what's going
Yeah,
on.
I know.
For the show, I actually watched like a video of someone explain it to me.
Oh, you went to the full
It's
scuff,
so
did you?
fucking ridiculous. It's so stupid.
You went to the full
Right.
scuff side, did you?
Oh, I genuinely, I sat down, I watched a YouTuber called Optimus explain how fucking stupid it is.
Oh,
And, like, he's on point, because, like, now that it's been explained to me, no, it's so fucking stupid.
is it as bad as the D&D controversy of pronouns?
It's the level of stupid that I don't think the human race has achieved yet. I
No.
think this is peak human stupidity.
No, if it's the same as the D&D one that came up last week,
On-
actually.
I genuinely think it's stupider. I genuinely think this is a stupider controversy, right? Let me explain what's going on, right?
Okay.
So essentially, right, the entire internet who cares about Starfield has been split into 3 factions, right? 3 different factions, right? These 3 factions are basically arguing about one particular thing in the game. It's during your character creation process.
Yeah.
There's an optional button that you are allowed to press to change the pronouns for your character. When you make a character, the pronouns will naturally default to the sex of the character, and you can change it. So you could play as, say, like you've got a male body type, but you'd rather be called a she/her.
Mm-hmm.
Or you could be a female, but you want to be a they/them. And those are your 3 options. You got he, him, she, her, and they/them. The 3 standard, I would say, the 3 standard pronouns of like these are the common ones, these are the nice ones, these are the ones everybody knows. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy, job done, kind of a deal.
That's
Right.
almost as bad as the controversy that came out.
Oh no, we're
No.
not done yet.
No.
Don't wait a minute.
Hang
we're
on,
not fucking-
it's a quick
the
reminder of
controversy itself yet.
something. A quick reminder of something. Can you remember that bullshit that came out with the feminist camp around how the characters sit in Destiny?
Just wait. No, this is still stupider. Just wait. We're not even into the actual controversy of the
Alright.
controversy.
Go on then.
Just you wait, right? That's just the actual thing the controversy is arguing
Okay.
like over, right? That's if this was a custody battle, that's the baby, okay? Right? So the internet, like the portion of the internet who give a shit, has been split into 3 factions. You've got the Starfield fans who couldn't care fucking less because it's a video game.
Yes, I'm in that camp.
Yes. You have essentially the left side of the political spectrum who are bitching and whining because there's not enough buttons, and also how dare it default to like the sexes like pronouns instead of like just by default if I pick a male character going to they them, which I can see your point, but like shut the fuck up.
How dare video game assume my pronouns?
Exactly. And then I mean I somewhat agree, because like see if it just defaulted to they them, yeah, that would actually be fucking easier for just everyone involved, but like it's a video game, shut up.
Oh, here's one for you. Don't give them that option in the first place.
No, because you know they'd still bitch and whine. It's the left. They'd bitch and whine. But there's also the right side of the political spectrum who are bitching and whining about how dare this even be an option in my video game. And I have never been so just befuddled by the human race.
I mean,
like the people who don't care, I'm going to take them out of the equation altogether, because like frankly they're not even in the battle. They're watching the fight on the sidelines. They don't count.
They're sitting like me sitting inside the line with a bowl of popcorn watching. Let's put these idiots kill each other.
Yes. You know, like the left side of the argument, I get what you're trying to say. Of like, yes, no, I somewhat agree. If it defaulted to they them, it would make life more kind of easier. If it defaults to they them, or better yet, defaults to NA, and you then have to press the button, and then pick your thing. With a little drop, that would make sense. I'd be fine with that. Like, fair enough. But also, it's a video game. Whereas the right, some of the people on the right-wing like side of the political spectrum, like during this argument, have been saying some of the most amazing shit. Like, I mean, the left side have been saying, and we'll get to some of the shit the left side has been saying in a second, right? But just, I fuck you not, right? This is a common thing I've been seeing people like online on the right side of the political spectrum saying about this controversy, right? Brace yourself, because you might giggle, right?
Okay.
Putting the pronouns in the game, having the option to change your pronouns in the game, right, will encourage you to accept transgenders in real life, and it's all a big plot for the gay agenda.
Right, hang on. Just 2 seconds.
Yes.
Hang on. Okay.
Yeah. Yes. People at home, just. Okay. I'm just gonna leave that to sit in the air for a moment.
Ow! Actually, banged my head on the table there. That hurt.
I cannot blame you. I was tempted to do the same thing when I heard that. But just wait. Brace yourself for another head desk meeting, right?
Oh god.
Because people on the left side of the spectrum have been taking it just as far. Where? And again, this is a thing I've been seeing a lot of.
I'm not drunk enough for this.
For genuinely no reason. It's the people on the left side of the spectrum have been attacking not just people on the right, but the people who also just don't really give a shit about it. And they're basically going around just going, like, people are like not agreeing with them. I'm just like, yeah, it's a video game, I don't care, and being like, oh, well, you're just a fucking pedophile then. It's like, what the? How does this relate? How does not being like that bothered about pronouns or straight up not liking pronouns make you a pedophile? That's not what that word means.
Right.
You reprobates.
Right. Here's my hot take on this issue.
Mm-hmm.
Right. 1, it's a video game. I don't care.
Yeah, like, I mean, my view on it is it's a video game. It's nice that it's there, but I wouldn't notice if it wasn't there either. Like, I wouldn't have noticed either way.
2, right? The transgender community make up approximately, at best at the moment, 2% of the world's population. Right?
It's about, yeah.
The game is meant to represent the 98% of the world who does not follow this I've made up bullshit of like gender shit in their heads. So it's meant to represent the most people in the world, not the small percent who don't care.
To be fair though, right? Like,
I'm not finished yet.
No, all I'm arguing, right? I'm not disagreeing with you. All I'm saying, like the more options there are there, the more people you are grabbing.
Yes, but
you know what I mean?
For the sake of 2% and the level of program, you have to add the rest of that bullshit in, as well as the rest of the voice acting to go with it, and everything else. For
saying like add literally all of them, like fuck the Z-them things. I'm still confused by that shit. But like,
I mean, and them, I don't care. It's not much bothered for me.
Yeah, like see when I booted up the game for the first time when I saw that button, do you know what my immediate thought process was? My immediate thought process was, oh, that's neat, and then I moved on with my day.
Yeah. It's not good.
I don't really give a shit. Like, I was making a male character. I went in with the mindset of I'm playing a male.
Right. 3.
I pre-selected what my pronouns were going to be in my own head.
3.
I didn't really care.
It's an RPG, like in like the bullshit that came out D&D last week, where people win saying there's no transgender characters in the game or transgender races in the game. It's a fucking RPG. You have an imagination.
Yeah, that's well. Like with D&D, like there is. There's literally an entire fucking part on your fucking character sheet for pronouns. What are you talking about? That's been a thing for like 5 years.
No, there's no specific race that says they're transgender or non-binary.
Well, yeah, because an entire race isn't going to be.
That's the comment. They haven't written out an entire race or entire class, which is only for transgendering, or there's no transitioning mechanics in the game to change sex between male and female. The one that added to the game, and I've said, I suppose that that's dumb. You're an idiot.
Nah, low key though. I hate to say, I actually kind of agree that would be it wouldn't be a feature I would use very often in D&D, but it would be a cool feature to have.
Don't get wrong.
Because I can guarantee you I could make it work in a campaign at some point. I could bring it up and we could make it work.
Yeah.
And it would be especially just like as a reference point for if I want to do a similar thing. Like it would be nice to have that rule set there as a reference point for similar mechanics.
Right, put it in my head now, right, and I'm not the biggest D&D player or the nerd or the thing. I'm learning. I can think of 3 ways of doing it. 1, a potion that changes your sex. 2,
I mean that's the easiest way, yeah, a potion.
2, a spell that does it.
Yes.
Right? 3, a curse that does it.
Yeah.
Right? All those 3 fit in the context of the game.
I mean, there's the 4th option as well of just fucking roleplay it.
Yeah.
Like, just this thing, like, especially for dungeon, just talk to your dungeon master. We don't, like, as long as it's not gonna, like, fuck the story, we don't really care.
Yeah, I mean, if you're not saying,
like,
I'm now transgender, therefore I automatically get an extra 5 boost to my charisma level, which is utter bull crap.
Yeah, like that's horseshit, but, like if you want to take an entire session for that to be a character arc, cool. We're fine with that as dungeon masters. Like most of us are gonna be fine with that.
I mean, if you
like,
there's one context.
And if your dungeon master's not fine with that, your dungeon master's just an asshole.
There's one context.
I mean, fuck. I've spent like 5 sessions straight before in a campaign setting up a wedding between 2 characters to then in the 6th session hold the wedding and then be an absolute arsehole and pull a red wedding on them because I'm evil.
I mean, there's one context I say switching genders or transitioning would have a positive benefit, right? And that's this: if you're trying to do a particular seduction type technique to get information or something, then saying, "Oh, I want to take this portion to a now female, so I can actually, seduce this guard I need for information." Yes, go ahead.
Even then, you'd be way easier just cross-dressing it.
The cross-dressing works, but there's, like I say, as mechanic-wise for benefit.
Yeah.
I would say, transitioning will give you a proficiency bonus to your seduction charisma roll type shit.
Yeah.
Right? But as a standpoint, it's an RPG game, and like Down Dang's RPG, 90% of the game is what you think of it in the first place.
Yeah. I mean, like, with Starfield, I actually really like that it's an option. Like, Like, I mean, this is a decision I made like earlier today, like when I like just before the show when I was looking at the controversy of like, cause like Starfield has New Game Plus. I'm really interested to finish the game and see what the New Game Plus is all about, but also I want to take my time with the game.
Like I say,
but I've fully decided when I finish the game and I make my inevitable second save file, I'm playing as a fanboy because you know what? Fuck you, the right wing, and also fuck you, the left wing. I'm gonna be one of those weirdos who's bang in the middle and also kind of on the left side, just ever so gently, because it's fun.
I mean,
being a fanboy is interesting.
I mean, in Bethesda games in general, right? When they make an RPG game, they allow you to be as androgynous as you want to be.
Yes, Starfield's no different. Like I've actively tested this. You can wear a dress as a guy. Like the game does not care.
I mean, in both most of these games, there is what's called the gay romance arc. It's in most modern games. Right, and even in those games, what they generally do for characters is they call you by your title, like in Dragon Age, keep calling you Inquisitor.
Yes.
Or they call you by the character's default last name.
Yes.
Because most of them like change your first name but not your last name. And they generally say, like in Mass Effect, no matter where you choose the male or female character, they call you Shepard regardless.
Yeah.
Right. Now you could quite easily just roleplay saying, well, he's a female to male transgender who's gay type shit. You know, that works perfectly fine for the game.
Like with Mass Effect particularly, it works really well. Like with Starfield, because of it's very open ended.
Yeah.
And like the only name any of the characters really call you is just Captain.
Mm-hmm.
Like it doesn't work quite as it kind of works, but like it.
Yeah,
it's not like a name if that makes sense.
Yeah, they call it by your
Shepard works because Shepard's a person name. Yeah. Captain not so much because it's like it doesn't work for the reason that it should work. Of anyone can be the captain.
Well, yeah, because Captain's your title.
Like it's not specific enough, you know. Like
Captain's your title. Like
see the amount of times like when I've been playing Starfield, where like I've been walking through a spaceport and like one of my companions has said, "Hey, Captain, can I talk for a minute?" And I've just ignored them because I assumed it was an NPC talking to another NPC. Yeah. And I've stopped at a kiosk and my companion's caught up with me and been like, "Hey, we need to talk about something." I'm like, "Oh shit, that was you 10 minutes ago. Sorry."
Yeah, like say going off like Skyrim.
Mm-hmm.
You're either called Dragonborn or Mercenary for most of the game.
No, I genuinely love how Skyrim handled it when it came to the romance side, like what your spouse would call you.
Yeah.
Because it was perfect. It made sense no matter who you married. Your spouse would just call you my love. Perfect! It hits the vibe, it hits the theme, it gets everyone on board. Perfect. I love that.
Depending on the character, there was like my love, there was Darling and Sweetheart. Were the three I got when I was doing
even then, like, because like I know like some of the male characters that would call you like Sweetheart and Darling, like you could marry them as a guy and they'd still just call you Sweetheart and Darling because the game didn't give a fuck.
No,
it was so cool.
You know, and they say even like in like Dragon Age, which allows romance arcs, you just get again like the standard My Love but Darling or Inquisitor, which was your title. You know, it's almost as bad as the stuff that came out with Doom was Doom was teaching to be devil worshippers, and I was thinking, if you're playing Doom thinking you're a devil worshipper, you're playing the game wrong.
Yeah, you're not reading the mission prompts.
In Doom, you are slaughtering demons, Satan.
You are fighting the forces of hell to save Earth. Like it's the most Christian pro game.
You literally shove a shotgun up a demon's ass and pull the trigger.
I'm pretty sure in like 2 separate Doom games you literally do that to Satan himself.
Yes. I mean, the best argument I did love, and I got an argument with because I just wanted to create this controversy, was someone who tried to prove that Doom Guy was non-binary. And I love that one.
I mean, I've not played enough Doom to like agree or disagree, but like low-key highbrow. If they released a skin for like Doom Guy in Doom that turned him into like a femboy Doomslayer, I would throw so much fucking money at that. Even if it was shit, where like he's wearing the same armor but it's bright pink and they put a skirt over the top of it, I would pay so much money for that version of Doom because that sounds hype as fuck. But I'd only pay money if it came with like an extra music pack. So when I've got that armor equipped, all of like the heavy metal music is just replaced by like happy anime music. Just
I don't know if the
you
one.
like the one from the memes, fucking.
Yeah.
Akinoko do na no toko toko te mate de do toko
Yeah.
toko to do 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 do. Like music like that. It does not fit the theme of the game whatsoever.
Now,
But like my mentally disturbed brain finds it very fun
Now-
to kill demons to that kind of music because it doesn't fit.
to be fair to Doom Guy, right? You always call it either Doom Guy or Doom Marine for the entire series.
Or Doom Slayer sometimes.
Yeah. Now, also to be fair, the creators of Doom, before they made Doom 3, did make an alternative version of the Doom games, the original ones,
Yes.
where you played as Doom Girl
Yes.
in some of them. It wasn't a very big hit, but it did exist. It's like the same one they did with Duke Nukem 3D, where they
Yes.
gave out an optional pack where you turned him into a woman.
Yes. Which was actually I really like. It was a very Duke Nukem idea.
Yeah.
It was a strange idea, but I low-key kind of liked it. It was kind of neat.
The lesbian Duke Nukem was still going around shagging every girl he could
Yeah.
find his hands on. Yeah.
Yeah, like
still-
it was weird.
It was funny
It was
as hell.
weird and it was lazy, but it was kind of cool at the same time.
Because it's funny to tell me they changed the voice to a woman's voice, but this means them, come on, glove, come and spin on my cock and see how far you get. It's like,
Yeah. It was
okay,
like,
you could change
"Huh?"
the lines somewhat, but never mind.
Yeah, like
It was still quite funny.
like it
You know,
was.
still go to strip clubs and hand out dollar bills to the strippers. You know, it was still hilarious as a concept.
It's
You know, and hardcore gamers, as a controversy people, hardcore gamers do not give a shit whether they're playing male or female characters. Most
we
hardcore,
genuinely don't like.
I mean, I create female characters in RPGs because, like I say, if I'm going to stare an ass for the best part of 50 hours, I'd rather be a nice ass to stare at.
I mean, it's when I get lucky in video games because, like, as a bisexual, like an ass is an ass to me. Like, I don't really give two fucks either way.
Yeah.
But like I will occasionally just like, especially like Skyrim, like with Skyrim in particular, like when I boot up Skyrim and I start a new playthrough, I don't know what I'm playing until like I get to that character creator. I might play as a guy, I might play as a girl, I might be an orc. Maybe I'll be an orc this time. I'm not going to be an orc this time. Maybe I'll be an elf. Like, I don't fucking know. I mean, I know I'm not going to play orc every single time because I fucking do not enjoy playing as orcs in Skyrim. They're shit. But like,
The only characters I refuse to make a character of, right, either male or female, because I can't make it look right, is the lizard people.
see, I like the Argonians. I don't mind them too much. They're like a nice middle ground, like towards the orc. We're like, they're fugly, but they're not fucking fugly.
Yes,
You know?
and people, another controversial people for this one, the Argonians are the epitome of non-binary characters.
They are. Yes, they are incredibly androgynous.
They're born from an
don't
egg
think-
that lives in a tree.
Yes, like
There's no sex involved,
they also do copious amounts of drugs.
right? Also, people who went about Skyrim, for the love of God, read the lore around one of the fucking Dark Elf gods.
Yes. Please look into Vivek. He's one of the most interesting fucking characters in any piece of media.
It's disturbing as fuck.
Like,
I'll give you a hint. Penis spear.
yes.
It's very disturbing.
Yeah, anyway,
But anyway,
just looking back to the original part of the next part of the topic.
yes.
My review for the game. My review for Starfield. I'm not at, like the same kind of hours as like a lot of like the YouTube people who got early access.
Yes.
You know, like the guys who like had already hit 100 hours like 2 days before the game came out for the rest of us.
Yes. Because
I ain't that bad.
Because you're depressed, you have a life.
Yes. Like, well, I don't have a life, but like I have a dog. But
Yeah, I have a dog. It takes up most of my time. Deal with the thing.
yeah, same. Like I like my current save house. Like I want to say maybe 8-9 hours in to the game. Like, and like story wise, I'm not that far. Like I've only just unlocked the character Sam Cole, and I almost immediately lost the character Sam Cole because after picking him up, like on the way to do his little side quest, I found another side quest where it was like fucking kill these space pirates, and I started shooting at a space pirate ship, and then a fucking police ship flew in front of me while I was firing. One of my lasers accidentally hit its shields and got a £600 fucking bounty, which pissed off Sam Cole because the police happened to be the same faction he's aligned with. So as soon as that mission was finished, he bitched at me for 20 minutes about being a prick, and then left my crew and refuses to get back on board my ship,
So I take
even
it,
though I've paid off the fucking bounty.
So taking down restarting your save file.
No, because you know what? I don't care enough about the cowboy with a child to revert the best part of 3 hours of progress. I can't be arsed. Fuck him. Fuck him. Fuck his quest. Fuck his family. Part of his quest is you end up getting a family heirloom off him that's like important for plot reasons. The second he left my crew, I went straight to the fucking trade authority and I sold that shit for 300 credits. Just to be petty. Just to be a petty prick, I sold his fucking surprisingly worthless family heirloom. Fuck you, Samco.
I mean,
Your kid's cool, but you're a dick.
My only argument with Bethesda on like game like this side of things, we are about there, is again it's a bit about Skyrim a little bit. Is you remember the first house car you get?
Yes, Lydia. Oh, fucking.
Right, just useless for the most part, admittedly.
Man, see, I was living a happy life up till now, because I'd completely forgotten Lydia exists as a fucking character, and you just had to come in and ruin my whole day like a freight train of sadness, didn't you?
My only problem with Lydia is the best use I could find for her, right,
Was carrying shit.
well, A, carrying shit, and B, right, is if you could make her a romance partner and make her stay at home and deal with the housework.
Yeah.
But it would never allow. There's a mod that allows you to do it,
Yeah.
right? But you couldn't make a game where you couldn't do it. It's like, why not? She's a perfect romance character to sit there and do fuck all in your house for you.
I mean, like, obviously, like, no. Like, nah.
Come on, when you get it, right?
Nah.
She
Nah.
spends.
I'll tell you who's a way better romance partner in that game. In Skyrim. Fucking Isolde.
Yeah.
Right? Trainee merchant. Secretly a drug dealer on the side.
Yeah.
When you marry her, she sets up a small business to generate you a nice little bit of passive income.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't really complain all that often. Happily makes you food. In terms of, like, characters in that game, relatively attractive.
Yeah.
Like,
My problem with Lydia is, though, right, it's, although I did romance her most of the time, because it's the easy one to romance in the first place.
oh yeah, like from second one, you'll just go buy an amulet of mana, put it on, like, instantly she'll marry you. She has no fucking standards.
Yeah, right. Problem is, though, even though I married her, Lydia still spent 90% of her time in my fucking bedroom when she didn't.
Yes.
Like, if you want to spend that much time in my bedroom, by my foot in my bed, at least be in the fucking bed.
Yes. Like,
You know?
nah.
Every time I go to sleep, I wake up and I sleep at the foot of my bed. You can at least be naked next to me in it.
Like, me and Lydia fell out big time after, like, the 13th time she trapped me in a fucking room and had to first road out of the way. Like, after that happened, I went straight into the conversation and just went, go the fuck home. Like, leave.
Yeah, I mean,
Honestly, my survival odds are better with you at home.
I mean, since I got,
Just
I pretty much
home.
left her in my house. I bought. But
I literally, like, I sent her back to fucking Whiterun. I was like, no, go back to the Yarrow. Like, leave me alone. And then, like, 20 hours later in that playthrough, I bought my first house, and then she turned up there and I just stabbed her in her sleep. Away from fucking light. Because I forgot she was a character by that point, and I fucking woke up from a nap in game one day, and there was a random woman in my house, so I stabbed her. Because I assumed she was there to kill me.
Yeah. If you leave it alone, she spends 90%, spends overtime, not even downstairs.
Yeah.
You don't use it overtime in your bedroom.
Yeah, just standing there, doing fuck all.
No, Johnny's sitting there, or mine was Johnny's sitting there eating sweet rolls.
Yeah.
And like, if you're going to be in my bedroom all the time, at least when I come back, be naked on the bed for me. Be
Like,
useful in some degree.
Yeah, or like, you know, like literally every other spouse in the game have set up a small business.
Yeah, no,
But
sure.
yeah, have like a character that isn't wet paper cardboard.
You know,
Like,
I mean, I carried around
have a
once.
fucking personality, Lydia. Jesus.
I mean, I carried around, I used her once, I think, like 2 missions I needed her for. And that was basically just to carry shit.
Honest to God, there is literally not a single mission in like right now, with my current like knowledge for Skyrim. There is not a single mission in that game where I need a companion.
I used to use it because I was going through, I think I used it once for Labyrinth, because the odds of getting out without being encumbered is like slim.
I don't know. I can speedrun that fucking I
Yeah,
mean, like right now probably like not so much, but like when I was hard grinding for that platinum, 30 minutes was my record for getting through Labyrinth, and
Yeah,
even
but
I picked up like 2 things.
Yeah, I'm a loot whore.
I mean, so am I, but like see when you're on like playthrough 3,500. You get to like you don't even fucking hover over the item. You just look at the item with your actual eyes in real life and go worthless, because you just have an instinct knowledge now of roughly what shit's worth.
I mean, admittedly, in ESO, that's you see a lot of people like loot whoring around in ESO. Right?
Yeah.
Everything. I was like, nope.
Yeah, nope.
I can't be asked.
Yes,
I'm
worthless. Perfect row. Worthless.
Yeah.
Fishing bait. Worthless. Iron ore. Worthless. That's like 80% of ESO.
I mean, it's like he's a new rare weapon. Yeah, it's about as useless as a weapon. It's worse than the weapon I made myself.
Yeah, look at that. It's on par with a level 2 floor. And it's level 60.
And I can't
Go away.
And I can't sell it for a
Yeah,
great
get
amount.
out of my inventory. Goodbye. Okay.
You know, so as a loot whore in ESO, it's like I'll just go to the battlefield for XP and that's it.
I mean, yeah. It's like when I'm playing ESO, it's like battle XP and like fishing supplies, because that's pretty much all I do in ESO is I go fishing.
It's battle XP or I try and collect motifs. And that's about it.
Nah, it's like if I've got like a stretch of like 3 days where I've got nothing going on.
You just go fishing.
Yeah, I just put up ESO, and I just run around the map to all the fishing spots I can find and catch up on some podcasts I've not listened to in a while. Like I basically use it as just an activity for my hands while I'm listening to a podcast.
I mean, admittedly, I haven't turned my PlayStation on for like 3 days.
I mean, yeah, I'm pretty much the same, like mainly because I've been addicted to Starfield.
I haven't played a game in about 3 days because I've been too busy trying to fix my goddamn. Well, the past 2 weeks, I think I've turned on like twice to play something.
Yeah.
Because I've been too busy trying to fix the fucking bullshit that OBS and Windows dumped on me in my laptop.
Like, I booted it up a couple of days ago because I wanted to watch YouTube, and I was upstairs, and like the YouTube app on my Xbox doesn't work right now, so...
And good news, right? We're up to 12% of my CQB capacity, and my internet has not dipped once.
Nice!
I've still got 16 megabit upload speed, and my download is still at 60.
Yes, anyway, so Starfield.
Yeah, Starfield.
Starfield review. I said this earlier on in passing. Like, unironically, Starfield is game of the year for me.
Mm-hmm.
Like Fallout 5 could get announced like tomorrow and release in 2 months. Starfield's still taking fucking game of the year.
You're not getting
like,
Bethesda just said on that one.
Oh, I know for a fact like that wouldn't happen, but like hypothetically, if that did happen.
No, Bethesda announced they're not making Fallout 5.
Oh, okay, cool.
They're making Fallout 76 Part 2.
Oh, even then. Okay, Elder Scrolls 6 could get like another announcement like next week and come out in 2 months, and Starfield is still taking game of the year.
I can't say that because A, I can't play Starfield.
Yeah.
And B,
like,
I'm more interested in Armored Core 6.
Which is fair. Like, but this I've been playing the game through the Game Pass's fucking play by cloud feature.
Yeah.
It's like I'm on like the old gen of Xbox, so like I can't download it. I've got to play it through that fucking thing. And like honestly, like the game runs way smoother than it has any right to.
Especially with your low internet speed.
Yeah, like it's like it has its hiccups here and there because of it, where like the graphics will go a bit like fuzzy for like a minute.
Yeah.
And then like it's fine. And like you can get like a solid 3 hours going and then with no graphics issues, and then like you'll go to like a main hub, like New Atlantis or some shit, or like one of your main cities, and like it freaks out for like 5 minutes and then it's cool.
So basically, you're getting less scuff than you do get. The people do still get with trying to play Cyberpunk 2077.
Genuinely, I've put the same amount of hours into Starfield as I have Cyberpunk.
Mm-hmm.
I have had less problems playing Starfield than I did Cyberpunk.
And using a more scuffed version of playing it.
Yeah, like I'm not even. I've had one glitch so far, and it was literally the game just hard crashed. For literally no reason. I was literally just walking through again this city called New Atlantis. It's like one of like the first cities you go visit. I was walking through there just doing a shopping trip, like stocking up on ammo and shit, and the game just hard crashed. So I walked past a random fucking shop for literally no fucking reason. And like even then, it wasn't even the game itself that crashed. It was the cloud by Surface that crashed. So like it didn't even count. Doesn't even count as the game having a problem. It was the shitty fucking streaming thing that had a problem, and like even then it was fine. Because it was like 11:30 at night, so like the queue was dead. The server was just silent, so I was able to load straight back in. It didn't matter. Like, it was fine. Like,
so Starfield so far, for the limited time you put in so far.
Yeah, like I'm like 8 or 9 hours in, and like this is like fucking. There have been some moments where I've been playing that game and like I've had to just take a minute to just like look at my screen and go, fucking hell, that's gorgeous.
So like Skyrim scenario, when the Skyrim first released, like
yeah,
Skyrim
like,
was beautiful.
In fact, the way I describe it is it's like playing a Fallout 4 now, where like, especially on like PS4, like base game, like with the DLCs, no mods, just standard Fallout 4 on a PS4. Where like you're looking at it and you're like, it's showing its age, but fuck me, there are some moments in this game where you just have to take a minute to appreciate it. Because it's beautiful. It's the same level of beautiful. We're like, yeah, it's a brand new release, but like, I'm playing it on like this again, the scuffed version. So it's got that kind of vibe of like, some stuff doesn't look great, but that's more of a stream issue. But like, there are moments where like I'm looking at it in the scuffed version, I'm like, fuck, that's gorgeous. How did they do that? How is my Wi-Fi able to handle that? That's imagine what that would look like as a downloaded version of this game in 4K. Holy fuck! Like, it's so good. Like the controls is what like I was so worried going into it, right? Yeah. I was so worried about the ship controls, like how the ship flying would work, like because like obviously like Bethesda haven't really done vehicles before, like outside of like horses.
Yeah,
it's like I was worried. They've knocked it out of the park. It's so good. Just every spaceship design feels unique with how it handles. Like from like how like the starting ship handles to like a pirate ship you've stolen to like a cargo hauler to like a late game massive like 3 trillion credit war machine. How those like different ships handle are unique to one another. So to the point where like you can take that starting ship and like you can like fuck with it and make a whole new ship just like by like basically cannibalizing it. And it'll go from handling like that ship to handling like something brand new. It's because there's a shipbuilder, by the way. Like you can build your own custom ship part by part. It's so cool. Like it's so neat. The outpost / settlement building system. Fuck it. It's the Fallout 4 settlement building, but way better than the Fallout 4 settlement building. Same base premises, with like some little quality of life adjustments that are just so handy. Like there's a button you can press when you're building your outpost that puts you in a top-down build view mode.
Yeah.
So you can it's like if you're building like an extractor, right? It's like mine resources. It's got like a ring around it that like you need to pay attention to because that's like its mining range, and you don't want the mining ranges to overlap or like you lose like productivity out of your miners. And like it's so handy for like specifically that. I genuinely think that's the only reason they put it in the game was for that particular game mechanic. But like it's so handy for that in particular, it makes it worth it by default. But also like from more like kind of like intricate fiddly bits of building where it's like I want like this solar panel and like this flag to be on this exact pixel of a space. It's great for that. You can like check how it looks from like all the angles before you confirm placing it there. It's all just the guns. Oh, the guns, Fat Man T. There's like the sound design on some of those guns. Exactly what they should be. The physical designs, amazing. Some of those gun models, exactly what they should be. It's like some of them have like a Firefly feeling. But like it's like an Old West revolver, but it looks spacey. Is really cool. Like like there's a revolver rifle that you can get. That I think it uses 50 caliber ammo. And like the sound it makes is exactly the sound you would expect like a 50 caliber rifle from the year 2350 to sound like. Like it sounds like God sneezed, and then a man died. It's beautiful. The guns are, and like the recoil on the guns are like exactly what you would expect from like Call of Duty. Like there's fairly like the recoil is quite realistic, in the sense of like how like you watch like an action movie, right? And like to be a guy with like an AK-47, like the recoil's all over the place, right?
Yeah.
Like, or like it's like a Glock 12 and like he's fucking shooting out lights by accident. The game doesn't have that because like it's based on like the true adage of like if you're trained in how to use that firearm, it should barely move in your hand while you fire it. If you're like holding it correctly, like the game basically is basically saying like, yeah, like even though like your backstory might be you were a chef, like the game starts off as you like as like a mercenary contractor working for a mining company. Like odds are at some point you've probably had at least basic firearm training. Yeah. So like it's like the recoil is going to be dampened by that, and also you're a fucking space miner. You're used to carrying massive rocks. You have the arm strength to deal with that recoil. And like it makes perfect sense. The game doesn't outright say that, but it says it at the same time.
Yeah.
No point is like I can't sit you down and explain to you this is why the guns don't have recoil. But like the context clues to the story like lines it up perfectly right from second one. Of like you can piece that much together. Like, oh, that's why the guns don't have fucking recoil. That makes perfect sense that the guns don't have recoil. Like it's the future. I'm a mercenary. Like A, who's a miner, and B, probably did at least a basic firearm safety certificate. Of course it doesn't have recoil. I know how to use it.
Well, from what I understand, where the game's built, where the game context is built, is it's basically a rough tumble of the future where everybody has a gun and knows how to stuff, like frontierism.
Yeah,
everyone has at least some basic idea how to use a damn gun.
Like you use the term like frontierism. You like genuinely, there's an entire planet where like that's just the theme.
Yeah,
it's a planet called Aquila, and it's literally just cowboys. It's literally cowboys in Old West, but space, and it's one of my favorite places in the entire game. I don't even like the faction that live there. I just like the vibe. Like you can get cowboy hats and shit, and like space revolvers, and it's so cool. Like, there's a city in the game like I've heard. I've not been to it yet in the game, but like I've heard people talk about it called Neon City. It's exactly what the name fucking makes you think. It's just Cyberpunk the game in space. Like Cyberpunk the game, the planet. It's so good. Genuinely, I'm adoring Starfield. The character. I'm gonna keep doing this. The character creator, Fat Man T. Like. Literally hours. Like I'm talking within 12 hours of that game releasing, someone had already made an almost perfect recreation of Todd Howard in the game. the character creation is that good. You can fucking make Todd Howard and his weird little face. You have so much. Like Bethesda's known for that with their character creators, where like you have ungodly levels of control, but like to the point where like you can make demon monsters in most games. Like from what I can tell, like with Starfield, like that's still true. You can make demon monsters, but like you can like it's got so much more like actual range control, where you can make near perfect replicas of actual fucking people. It's so cool.
Oh god.
Like sometimes the hairstyle isn't there, or like the exact facial hairstyle isn't going to be there, but like in terms of like eye shape, it's like. You control it by like little sliders by like a decimal point, which equates like a fucking fraction of a fucking pixel or some shit. So you can get it like bang on, almost exactly what like. Say like you had to make Johnny Depp, but with like a handlebar mustache, you could do that.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. I love it. It's so good.
So what's the other topic you had?
Oh, of course, yes. The other topic. So yeah, did I send you earlier, or do I need to resend it? I sent you earlier. So I've been fucking around with this. I've been doing a bit of fucking around.
Did you send me earlier?
Yeah, I've just resent it to you. If you bring that link up on the stream, not yet, but like in a couple of minutes. Right. So people at home, I've been playing with artificial intelligence recently. It's like a little side hobby I have where like I play with AI because like I find AI really cool and interesting and fascinating. Last couple of days I've been really like getting into it a little bit. And basically I found like an AI art generator.
Hello, my name is.
And I got it to make a character model and a little background scene and everything. Then I found a different AI tool that lets you like upload an image to it and write a script, and it will synthesize a voice and then animate the image to look like it's talking and saying the stuff that you've put in the script. It's really cool. So I was playing that, and then I basically used the opportunity to like learn a new skill for editing. Like I've started learning how to do masking. So I basically combined like these three like random thoughts and like discoveries into like one little project. And I've made I used these three things to make a like literally a short like 30-second animation clip. And like yeah, most of like the more impressive work's being done by AI here, but like I think it's really neat that like AI can do this well. Just like when it's up on your screen, for example, like we hit play, just look at the character's face as she's talking and tell me that's not really impressive.
I'm bringing it up now for you.
Like I think this is some of the most impressive. Like the masking's just shit 'cause it's my first ever time doing it, but like ignore that.
Right.
Like,
let's play it now.
Yeah, go for it if the people can see it.
If people can see it.
Hello, my name is Verity, and this is my workshop. I am so glad to meet you. I do hope my products interest you. Could I make a chair for you today? Or maybe a nice new bookshelf? It is so nice to have a customer. It gets pretty quiet in this area.
How fucking neat is that though? like pretty much all of that was done by an AI. All I did was just combine the shit the AI made in an editing software to make it work. I think it's genuinely one of the coolest things in the world. Like, AI can do this now. This is just a thing AI's allowed to do. Like, it's so cool.
Well,
like, don't you agree with me, Fat Man T, that it's so, like, it's genuinely really cool that AI can do shit like that.
Oh, it's generally cool. I mean, it's
terrifying,
It's
but it's
terrifying.
really cool. It's terrifying AI can do that, but it's also really cool that an AI can do that.
Remember the one I said about that AI that's now making South Park episodes?
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah. Like what the shit?
Right, moving on to a slightly different topic. Bit more of a somber one.
Oh.
This is a video I've been trying to play for Vegas for the past...
Oh, yes. Oh,
3
fuck.
weeks.
I forgot about this. Yeah. Oh, God.
I won't go through quickly with some of it, but I mean, one.
No, I was hoping like you were gonna forget about this until like next week when I was on holiday, and then just you and Keats were gonna deal with it.
No,
Like, fuck.
because I think Keith is a bit because the kids go back to school. Keith's a bit big for the stream.
Nah. What's your plan for next week then? Like, just don't do one, or
I haven't decided
solo
yet.
it?
It depends
Right.
what's going on. I might just
Sure,
solo
give
some
give
Karen
us
videos.
give us Woka a shout. You'll probably jump in.
It's trying to get in contact with the damn sod. At times.
Discord him. Let just DM on Discord. Like, he's pretty much always active on Discord. Like,
I mean, you know what, it's going to be quite short one compared to the other one. That's a bit longer than this one. This one's only half an hour. The other one's an hour.
yeah.
I mean, what's interesting about this one is this
I'm gonna take a big old hit. I'm a relentless fucking.
it's that's wise.
Yeah, you're a prick, real
Why?
quick, actually, right?
I'm a prick.
Like,
I
it's like you
warned-
remember when I had like my first relentless and like it kicked my ass.
Yes.
This is like my fucking fourth.
I told you.
This is like my 7th one in like 2 days.
I warned you.
Like I'm not even exaggerating. I've had like 7 in the space of 2 days. I think I still have one in the fridge, but like I can't remember. I'm that wired. I don't know if there's one in my fridge still, or if this is the one that was in the fridge and I took it out and like I've almost finished it. I can't remember.
Did or did I not warn you?
I mean, you did, but like I didn't expect it to go from like not this quickly at least go from like killing me to like goes
Addiction.
down like water. I didn't expect it to like It took me a year to get used to Rockstar. I didn't expect it to take 3 weeks to get used to Relentless.
Yes, but we wait for the come down after you stop drinking it.
Oh, I know. I've had it already several times over the last few days. The come down sucks.
Yeah.
I've also discovered, I don't know if it's the caffeine causing this or the sleep deprivation that's causing this, or just like the caffeine itself. But like see when how do I put this delicately? Fuck. See when I'm doing the devil's handshake, right? Splitting sore headache. Like actual I need a nap migraine.
That's the caffeine content.
Is that is that just like your like early warning your heart's going to explode, or
you gotta remember
just like your brain reacting to the caffeine and the endorphins at the same time?
You gotta remember caffeine. The Relentless is designed to boost up like your alertness for caffeine, that type of stuff.
Right. Let me rephrase the question. Should I go to the doctor? Am I dying?
No, just stop doing devil's handshake.
It's fine then. That's fair. See, I wasn't sure if it was like a new just like mutation I've gained from like too much sleep deprivation, or like if it's the caffeine.
No. You gotta remember during acts of orgasming, your blood pressure, heart rate, all that spikes anyway. Add that to basically taking the liquid version, the liquid version of cocaine, which spikes your heart rate and everything else and blood pressure to keep you awake. Imagine what's going to happen.
Oh my god! I think I figured out why Chili always looks high as fuck. I think he's like me. I think he's just addicted to Relentless and suffers with ADHD.
No, he's just sniffing cocaine.
Nah, bro. I think see. Hang on. Let me get my camera out. Hang on. Let me get my phone. Right. I want to see if my pupils are dilated. I want to see if it's actually liquid cocaine. Fucking.
Essentially.
Oh fuck! No, it actually is. My eyes are like fucking pins. Oh, it's either actually liquid cocaine or I've been fucking spiked. That's not healthy.
The amount of like caffeine-related products or caffeine like products in the damn thing to keep you awake. Maybe it's meant for truck drivers. For long range.
Bro. Like I genuinely look like I've snorted like 15 keys of fucking black tar heroin. Like that's not even funny. Shit.
Yep. And
that's not good for you.
And the withdrawal symptoms is just as bad.
Like fuck.
I'm pretty sure I did say limit you to drinking 2 cans a day.
Yeah.
In 24 hours, not 7.
Yeah. Not 7 in the space of 2 days.
Compared to other energy drinks on the market like Monster or Rockstar, they got nothing on the amount of caffeine power in Relentless.
Nah, here's the worst part though, right? See, because I have ADHD as well. Mm-hmm. Caffeine has this really fucking stupid effect on me where like it's similar to like marijuana. Where like it makes me bouncy and happy and giggly, but it also makes me really tired. Beer is the same actually. Like when I'm beer drunk, I'm like this. I'm bouncy, giggly, but also I want a nap like all the time.
I mean that's
so like that's what's been causing me to drink more of it. It's like I'll drink like half a can, like cause I've like pulled an all-nighter, and it'll get to like midday, and I'm like, fuck, I'm going for a nap. Die till like 4 o'clock. Get up and be like, I'm fucking dead. I'll take a little sip to like get myself fucking going, and then I'd have to fucking kill the last half of that can, and then like I'm good till like 8 o'clock, and then I crack another can so I can get for the night, and then like the next I'll have a little fucking power nap in it. Like I'm like for like fucking 3 days or so, I've been running on like 2-3 hour power naps, just because they're relentless. And then like for like 4 days before that, I was running on also like 2 hour power naps. Just because life got busy. Like we're in deep. We've gone down the rabbit hole. Like we're in Wonderland right now.
Yeah, you've crossed all the way to Alice.
I can, however, happily confirm I've not been able to taste colours since that last time I tasted colours.
Well, that means your body's adapting to it now. So
it is, yes. My body's acclimatizing to the levels of caffeine. I'm no longer like my living room has not tasted like pigeon in several days.
Which means that the withdrawal symptoms
weeks.
Stop. So if you run out relentless and can't drink it anymore, whoo,
it's a good thing I have coffee.
That won't help.
You underestimate what kind of coffees I drink.
Yes, remember you're not going to spend 2 weeks in the wilderness without any relentless or anything like that with you.
Yeah.
Unless
You underestimate the kind of coffee I drink.
unless 3/4 of your bag you're going to take with you is going to be full of relentless cans.
Again, you underestimate the kind of coffee I drink. Like normal. If I'm doing like a normal, like standard healthy cup of coffee, I double scoop Nescafe Azera.
Yeah, that's nothing.
Like the proper powdered, like smells like Colombia coffee.
Yeah, it's still not proper coffee.
Like, I love it. It's really good.
It's still American shit.
Strong. I love it. I think it's great shit. But like,
I'm sorry, until you get coffee maker like I've got and I use, you got nothing to say about coffee.
yeah, but also I'm not a fucking time traveling black magic wizard. So like, I have no reason for a fucking alembical because it's not 11:02 anymore.
I want that DD campaign. I'm going to buy one of those randomly and keep carrying with us.
No, I refuse.
Why?
Fuck you. Because fuck you. That's why.
I'm going to put it in the game as a magic item. You can't stop me.
It's the year 2000 AD in the campaign. Fuck you. You're drinking beer.
You can't stop me.
Watch me. I'm sorry. Who's God again?
I have admin privileges.
Who's literally God? Remind me who's God.
Well, you're God. I'm sub God. You give me admin privileges. I can sneak in there without you noticing. It's too late.
No, you can't. You underestimate how fucking obsessive I am with my D&D files. B, you don't currently have admin privileges from last Sunday when we tried to play. Because I've not fucking set it back yet, because I was busy.
Ain't no good to know you.
And C, well, I don't remember what my third point was going to be, but I'm sure it was poignant.
I think C is going to be the fact that you can monitor my movements now on Foundry to make sure I don't do it.
I mean, yeah, like, there's that, but also, like, I would have noticed anyway, because, again, I am obsessive when it comes to my D&D files. Like, I need to know where everything is at all times in those files.
I can homebrew, though.
Just in case I need to get there.
Yeah, I can homebrew and then just sneak it into my character sheet, just upload it, you never know about it.
I'll notice.
Well, yeah, they check my character every week now after we play. Yeah, quick
It's
scan
like,
my character sheet.
Do you have any idea, like, how frequently I check everyone's character sheets during our fucking play sessions? Not even because, like, I think you're, like, in... It's just like, I know I'm about to ask you. It's why, like, we caught that mistake on your character sheet a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
Where, like, as I was asking you, like, what's your AC again? I was actively pulling up your character sheet to check. Not because I thought you were going to lie, just like, so I could hear it and read it at the same time.
I genuinely thought
and that's why I caught it, because and that's why it caught me, because like I read like 16, you said 18, my brain went, those aren't the same number, and it threw me for a second, like, wait a fucking minute.
Yeah,
either you're lying or someone's pressed something they shouldn't have pressed.
Because I seem to do the formula they're using for it.
Yeah.
And until we actually dug into the new rules around what arm class is, you know, I generally thought that's how calculating arm is. Apparently not.
Like, both of us were genuinely confused for like 2 fucking days. Like, it was nuts.
I did the research on the arm class, like, they've changed the arm class on us, the bastards.
Yeah, like,
I do
fucking...
agree, it needs to come to 5e.
They do. It's 6 at this point. It's been changed so fundamentally and crucially so many times that, like, we're technically on, like, 8e. They just refuse to update it.
Because I say, I'm watching currently a hardcore playthrough of Lost Mines Fandelver.
Yeah.
Right, and they, even with heavy armor, they still add an AC, the DC, the Dex to it.
Yeah, because in the Fandelver starter kit, it was printed back when that was still the rule.
Now compared to the one now where it says no, heavy armor doesn't get it anymore. It's like, you bastards.
Nah, but here's what's stupid. See if you buy a 2023 print of Mines of Fandelver, it still has the old fucking rule in it.
Yeah, because the one I'm watching now, they're using the new Fandelver book.
Yeah.
Because what's caught in that game was the thing you caught out when you done last session was one of the shop owners. He's got as like a 70-year-old woman, right?
What? Hang on, sorry, real quick. Yo, fam, sorry, on this topic, it's September.
Yes.
Do you know what that means?
No.
D&D printing season's about to kick off.
Oh yeah, it is. Yeah, and what called?
I think it's like the 16th, and like hard prints start coming out again, and oh.
Yeah, and that
D&D books that are physical are going to be cheap again for all of 2 weeks.
And don't forget, that also means that D&D Beyond is now accepting Critical Role shit as part of D&D Beyond's canon system.
They are, yes, and it's confusing. But like, it's fine.
Anyway, to our quick video we're going to watch.
Real quick, just on Critical Role.
Yeah.
like I'm a fan of Critical Role to an extent.
Mm-hmm.
At the minute, in the sense of like, I'm a massive fan of Matt Mercer.
Yes.
And I'm a massive fan of. I'm such a good fan. I don't remember his name, but like it's another guy that DMs for Critical Role.
Mm-hmm.
There's like 3 of them. There's Matt Mercer, the blonde one, and like the black lady.
Yeah.
Like I'm a massive fan of like all 3 of their styles. I've known Matt Mercer's like an internet celebrity for longer, so like I remember his name better. That's well. It's got alliteration, so it helps my fucking broken brain remember it. Also, he played my favorite character in Overwatch, but like shush. But like that's like as far as like my like Critical Role like enjoyment has really gone for the last like 5-6 years is of just like I know who they are. I know who Critical Role are. I know they're very famous internet people that do the D&D. I'm somewhat familiar with some of their characters. I also know that Matthew Mercer and the ginger lady are married, which I didn't see that plot twist coming. Did not see that coming at all.
My big thing with Critical Role was when I started watching Vox Machina.
Mm-hmm.
And I got into like saying, as far as D&D like shows go, even down to the 80s when they brought out back in the early 70s, like late 70s, early 80s, which was just shit.
Yeah.
Right?
Cool idea, but
it was done badly.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Vox Machina was the closest thing that I could understand to a D&D campaign actually being televised.
Yes.
I mean, you got the Nord Bar just tracking everything that moves. You got the 2 thieves. You've got the barbarian, which is about as intelligent as a
Grog.
Yeah.
Yeah. Played by that guy.
Yeah. You know, so that's
the
my
American one.
But then
you know what I mean?
exposure,
the one that looks like he's from Texas. The American one, you know?
Now, my other exposure to Critical Role is all the bullshit around it where everyone expects every D&D campaign to be a Matt Mercer special.
Yeah.
And I told you off stream about, like, say, Critical Role is a good show, is a good broadcast for D&D on stream.
Genuinely, yeah.
We are taking some tips from our own. But again, Critical Role, their programs are made with professional voice actors and are designed to be broadcast for audience entertainment.
Yes.
Not some play entertainment's in there as well, but it's mostly meant for entertainment. So they do more over the top shit that we normally wouldn't do as a part of a game, as a normal game shit.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I brought this about the 2 druids playing cats and just eating.
Yeah.
They got no.
Yeah.
They got no loot or gold from pay from killing cats instead of fighting the main army attacking the village. And got very pissy at it. And they said, "Well, Matt Mercer rewarded us for doing our roles properly." Like,
yeah, no. Those 2 players would have been grabbed by the ears, had their heads smashed together, and then launched out of my fucking campaign.
Right, as a joke, it worked okay. In like again, as a Critical special meant for, like, look at the idiots just killing rats and actually fighting, and look how they're fucking over the party. Yeah,
look at the goofies, you know, like
right for a broadcast special, but as a gameplay for private gaming, it's bullshit, and it'll just piss your party off.
I mean, this like you can definitely get away with it in like a private party like environment. So long as like you clear it with the DM first.
Yeah, they didn't.
Like, because like that's predominantly what like us the Dungeon Masters are here for.
Yeah,
is to help everyone have the best possible time out of the game to an extent.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like as long as you're not taking the fucking piss. You know,
a lot of D&D games has been broadcast
like,
online.
Yeah,
right, or done by like VTubers or already online celebrities who who know how to be audience entertaining in how they play.
Yes,
they're still playing D&D properly, but they do more like in the RP side. It's more entertaining point of view.
Yeah, they're doing like more outlandish shit.
Like, you know, like, you've got Juniper in there, who's a well-known VTuber, and the 2 characters she's playing. I mean, 2 I've seen is in Pipe Dream, which is playing a like half Goliath barbarian, who's a bit minded, and in the Last Night Fell Delver, she's playing a male halfling wizard, who has very low intelligence stats.
I do enjoy halfling wizards. They are like a nice little staple kind of character build. They're very fun.
Yeah, I mean, just play the characters
like you can make some chaotic little cross goblins with those fuckers. They're fun.
Yeah, I mean, Wish is playing and his first adventure. He's innocent. He want to be a baker. And great little backstory, and he's quite an innocent character.
Yeah.
Then, as the story goes, he got captured by the goblins because of a TKA event, which then basically abused him for like 3 weeks until a new character came, saved him, and now he's gone a bit like still innocence, but still says some like as innocence some of the most fucked up shit you can think of.
Like he's got a little bit of a sinister undertone now because he's got low-key PTSD.
Yeah, it's like they're doing like the Red Brand part of the mission, and literally captured the big guy by surprise. And literally said to the guy, "Well, are you arrested free people on fun?" "No, well, I guess we've got to exterminate more now, then haven't we?" And like sweet in his voice, like, it's just creepy. No, we don't.
So just back to Critical Role. Like I'm tempted to like go like actually watch Critical Role properly. Because I saw a clip earlier today, like of like from like one of their campaigns.
They've got a new one out actually, I think.
I heard they were doing a new one, but like I don't know what campaign this clip is from. I'm going to track it down. I'm going to watch said campaign because it's a clip of them using like a really fun like feature in D&D that a lot of people just don't talk about or use, and I've gotten the pleasure to use it before.
What's that one?
Player weddings.
Ah.
It's one of my favorite little, just obscure little ism rules in the Game Master's Handbook of just like, yeah, if like 2 of your players will get married in game, fucking go for it, and here's how to do it. Like to make it feel like authentic and fun, and like here's how to design like custom weddings around a custom religion. It's way more in depth than it really should be, but it's really cool that it's that in depth.
Yeah.
And like it's just a clip of just like Matt Mercer and like running a wedding. And like everyone's all like actually dressed up in like wedding attire and shit at the table. It's really cool. Cause like I love it when my players like turn up in like dressed up for like those special events. Like if I let you know ahead of time, like, hey, next session there's gonna be a festival on, and everyone comes like to the table dressed up in like gowns and shit. I love shit like that. I love it when my players do fucking things like that.
I say with
it adds something for me, you know, like it's nice.
Again, with Critical Role, they generally do more in physical table sessions on their
stream. I mean, yeah. And like that's what they've got, like a wardrobe department and shit, and like a fucking $1 billion budget, so they got the high quality shit. But like, I still like, it's one of those little underutilized little features in D&D where like the time I got to use it was because 2 players that were in my campaign were married in real life, and like they wanted their characters to get like they basically wanted to like have their character's story arc be like essentially mirror their actual real world life of like they start off like not really knowing each other, like they have like one of the other party members like a mutual friend of the characters, and like it causes them to like both be in this party together because they both know fucking John, and John invited them to the like adventure and fucking like all that, because like that's genuinely how they met in real life, was they both had a mutual friend who both basically invited them to work with him on a job one week. So I think he was like a gardener or some shit, and like both of them like knew kind bits about gardening and needed some help. And that's just how they met, and they'd been married for like 10 years. It's a really weird, wholesome little story about like how they fell in love. Like, they fell in love over a rose bush. They were plant nerds, and they fell in love just talking about rose and fucking facts, and I found it really fun. And they wanted the character story arcs to kind of reflect that of just like 2 characters that like really don't know each other, but kind of know each other because of like this mutual friend slowly falling in love just over a mutual like hobby. That hobby being like murdering the fuck out of some goblins. Because like, what's more romantic? And I ended up just completely changing what the campaign was going to be like for the ending. Like originally, the campaign was going to end with them killing the big bad evil guy. Yeah. But then I was like, you know what's way more fun? The wedding's the ending now. Fuck you. We're gonna have like play right up to like you guys planning the wedding. Then the villain's gonna make this shit personal, and he's gonna like blow up the venue you've got booked. And now, like you dare not book the venue for the wedding till he's dead, because you don't want to risk it. You don't want to risk losing your second wedding and losing that much money. So that then gives them the incentive to go kill him. And then, like that was like the second to last session. And then I used the last episode to to do the entire wedding, and it was beautiful. It was magnificent.
That reminds me of Wreck-It Ralph wedding scene.
Genuinely, yeah. Like genuinely, but
Shares the most
like the venue got blown up before the wedding was going to take place. It was like weeks in advance.
Yeah.
It was like 3 weeks from the wedding. No one was there. The villain just heard about the wedding and went, well, I'm just going to be a dickhead and make this personal, and just blew up the church they were going to get married in. Yeah, just to be a dick.
Well, you remember loving about that one thing. So those tragic backstories. She had a wedding day, and her husband got eaten by a bug. And she went,
yeah.
Then they cut to the last scene where she's marrying the fucking 8-bit game guy. It's like, every one of the territories points guns at the window automatically, just in case.
You're one dynamite gal, bug. Fuck! It's literally right at the end of that movie when fucking Felix and Callahan get married, and there's like 800 Space Marines pointing fucking
guns at the window.
Guns with laser pointers at the window just in case. It's the same fucking church with the same priest.
Yeah, it's great. It's a great little thing. Like
the window. Wreck-It Ralph is such an underrated Disney movie. I genuinely adore that film so much.
It does
It's one of my favorite movies. It so
brings
good.
a lot of things to life about, like, you know, am I a villain or am I a villain because I do something, or am I a villain because of the way people treat me? You know, you just
like,
wanted to be in the penthouse, and like, well, yeah, you got the penthouse now. Now we're all have to leave because you're being too selfish. Like, was he being selfish though? Over it.
It's one of those things like Disney needs to do more stories like that, where like it's a more nuanced story.
Yeah.
Where are the villains actually the villains and are the heroes actually the heroes, or is like everyone a bit of a dick in this scenario?
Well, Alfred, I suppose his best man was Felix. He was dickish as fuck to him.
I mean, yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm your friend, but like, fuck off.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, we've all done that in the past to people of just like, I'm your best friend, but also can you like fuck off for a week?
Yeah.
Can you like leave me alone for a week? Like, fuck me. I cannot fix everything in your life. Ask someone else for a change.
Yeah, but he wasn't. You know, Ralph was sad about. He wasn't actually figuring. He just wanted to be part of the celebration. You know, he's part of the game, yet he wasn't allowed to celebrate with.
I mean, yeah, but like, you know what I mean, like.
I know what you mean. Another time Felix actually give a damn is when he decided, well, fine enough, I'll go off to find somewhere I'm more needed. And he did. He found someone who needed him. You know,
see, I honestly, I really liked that was like the character arc that like everyone kind of went through of like everyone was a bit of a dick for different reasons right at the start of the film.
Yeah.
And then like Ralph was like the least dickheaded character in the film, then does something kind of dickheaded. Now everyone's on an even playing field, and it's everyone learning to not be a dickhead.
Yeah.
I liked that. It was kind of fun. It was really neat. Also, Qbert. Qbert's in that movie. I fucking love Qbert.
Qbert? Which one's that one?
The little orange fucking alien dude that talks in fucking like hashtags and shit. Yeah. Each org. Fucking that guy. I love that little bastard. I love that little bastard. He's cool.
Here's some cherries. I've got them fresh from fucking Pac-Man. Are you carrying any product from someone else's game? No, sir. Not at all.
Any fresh fruit? No. Goes for the next plug. Name. It like for a game about video games, right? For a movie about video games, sorry. It got TSA so right.
Yeah.
And it had no fucking reason to go that hard at the jugular of the TSA. It had no right to go for the TSA like that, but it did, and it did it perfectly.
Not just the TSA, it went hard after everything. I mean, even down to like the police being a bit of dickish and celebrity culture.
It bullied the police, the celebrity culture, to an extent, like corrupt politics to a certain extent. Like,
come on, it got like, was it Sonic was doing like infomercials?
Yeah.
And shit is like.
Remember, if you're outside of your game, don't die, or you will actually fucking die.
And that was basically the take of Michael Jordan's like, stop it, get help.
You know what's fun about that scene? Like where it's padding through like the terminal, like you've got the Sonic advert. Does it? They're actually like Michael Jordan's genuinely just in the background, just walking past.
Yeah, I saw it.
Like, he's just like, which indicates that like they have an NBA game like in that arcade. And I think that's really cool. Like,
there was
so many really fun, like really obscure, like 80s video game references just sprinkled throughout that movie. Where like, if you didn't either grow up in the time period or like became just an uber gaming nerd, for like retro shit, you wouldn't have got like 80% of that movie's
my favorite one though,
but like all of them were so good.
My favorite one was the most miss was Karate Girl was in there.
Yeah, Karate Girl's in there. Tapper. Like, I was really happy when Tapper showed up. I was like, oh, fuck.
I mean, Karate Girl's
like, I remember playing Tapper. Holy shit.
If anyone knows what Karate Girl is, Karate Girl is one of the very first fighting games made for the Nintendo system. And it's so...
There was that weird fucking dance game.
What?
Oh, the one that was on the Dreamcast.
Oh, pop.
Fucking
Pop Culture 5 or something like that.
no, right? Dance Station Radio Space 5.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
So hang on, like low key, right? I've got the remaster on the Xbox. Give me a second. Wait till I open my cupboard that has my Xbox 360 games in it, and I'll tell you what it's called. Hang on. Okay, bear with me. Remastered Dreamcast Collection. Space Channel 5!
That's it, yes.
Space Channel 5!
Right, low key, right?
Like, genuinely, Space Channel 5 was just in that movie for like 4 seconds. It's such a good movie. Wreck-It Ralph 2 was shit, but like...
But generally, what I loved about that, right, is Karate Kid was such an obscure game that barely made it to, like, Western shores. It stayed mostly in
I
Japan.
don't think it actually genuinely got an official Western release. I think it got
did.
like one German port.
It died before it actually made it to cross the water.
Yeah,
But still,
I think it got like one brief release in Germany for like a week and then it died.
yeah, because like the game was broken. I mean, it basically just you fighting things through multiple, like basically like space, like the karate version of Space Invaders, which kept fighting opponents until it corrupted itself on itself.
Yeah,
Right. What got me where I did love was it got Plumber Man in. Now, if you don't know who Plumber Man is, Plumber Man is the very first incarnation of Mario in the Donkey Kong series.
like Plumber Man's just. I tell you like my favorite thing about Wreck-It Ralph, like just as a movie, because I genuinely think this is really impressive. When that movie came out, right up until about last year,
Yeah.
I genuinely thought Wreck-It that like Fix It Felix Jr. was a genuine arcade game, and I thought the exact same about that fucking Sugar Rush like kart racing game. Like those two like genuinely fictional made up arcade games were so well designed. I genuinely believed they were actual IPs.
Right. Fix It.
Honest to God, I thought they were real.
Right. Fix It Felix was a game originally.
It's based off of a game. Like there is a game that's
Which
literally
game
just
called
Fix It
Fix
Felix.
It
It's called something different.
No, it's called Fix It
Something
Felix.
different.
But
Is it called Fix It Felix?
Yeah, but it's more a case of it's like how they predicted in the game where Wreck Rat building he was building up trying to fix it again.
Yeah.
In the original AP game, it was more a case a bit like Donkey Kong was, where you basically scale out to hit the guy at the top and he's throwing him down at you. That's what the original RP was.
No, I know Fix It like Junior was like gameplay wise was based on an actual arcade cabinet that did exist, where like just a building gets fucked up and you've got to jump around dodging bricks and shit to fix the windows. That genuinely is an arcade game that is just that.
Oh, that was
Like there isn't one called Fix It Felix, and like Sugar Rush isn't a game. I genuinely till last year thought they were actual arcade cabinets that existed.
No,
and like it's made up bullshit. And that's impressive. It's impressive for a film to trick me like that. It's rare a film pulls that off.
Oh, it was Skyscraper Repair was the original one.
That was it, Skyscraper Repair. That was the very fucking game.
Because they brought Fix It Felix from the game genre in to replace the Mario character. Because they couldn't use that because of the IP issue.
Yeah.
So they used Fix It Felix, which lost its IP ages ago, as a character.
Yeah, because he's abandonware now, yeah.
Yeah. Sugar Rush. The other game now called Sugar Rush never used to be one.
I can say, even then, I don't think it's like even related to Wreck-It Ralph. Like, I genuinely think it's a completely different game.
No, it is a car racing game, but it's more of one of those like Sailor Moon Fairy type ones.
Mm.
You know, made for girls, but like fruity and flirty type.
Okay, though, like genuinely, I like if Disney released Sugar Rush the game, I would buy that shit immediately.
I think EA tried to do it.
Like they should, because like right there they have a perfect game to rival Mario Kart, because it's an entire game that's just ripping off the concept of like my favorite Mario Kart level.
Yeah. Also,
like I'd buy like 7 copies of that shit.
Also, they can rip off Mario Kart and they can rip off Need for Speed at the same time, because you have to build your own goddamn car.
Yeah, like give me like ridiculously like obtusely like detailed character build, like not character, vehicle building and like fucking customization options. Like Need for Speed set to the point where like I can take off the exhaust on my car and replace it with like a hot rod exhaust.
Yeah.
with like it's in the shape of a love heart, like dumb shit like that that's made out of cookie dough.
You know,
Like, give me dumb shit like that because it'll be fun.
you got jelly powered engine, now you switch on to licorice powered.
Yeah, like give me dumb shit. Like, give me Mentos and Coke Nitros.
Yeah.
Like if the game doesn't have like fucking Mentos and Coke as nitros, it's not worth playing.
You know, a 7 cookie horsepower engine.
Yeah. Nah. There needs to be a joke in it, right? Like a little Easter egg, right? Where they open like the bonnet of the race cars, right? And instead of like a standard, like where the pistons go, right? Just at the side of the engine, there's just little cookies in the shape of horses.
Yeah.
On like a spinning piston. And that's how many horsepower your engine is. So
Yeah.
you've got like a 15 horsepower engine. You've got like a normal size engine with really small horses.
You know,
So it's 15 cookie horsepower.
you know, customize your wheels, switching out from jammy Dodgers to fucking wagon wheels.
Wagon wheels. Fucking hobnobs. Fucking
Yeah.
the catamount hobnobs for the bonus.
extra endurance.
Like,
Gingerbread for
Yeah.
hard bodies.
if you put on the fucking caramel hobnobs, you've got extra endurance and bonus bounce,
Yeah.
but less grip.
Jammy Dodgers gives them extra traction but less control.
Yeah.
Write that shit down, make it, and send it to somebody, get it made. That'd be brilliant.
Please, genuinely, Disney. Fuck
Anybody.
Kingdom Hearts. Make that game.
Yeah,
Make
I'm
Sugar
sorry.
Rush an actual like make that a PS5 exclusive. I will buy a PS5 to play it.
I'm sorry.
Do it.
Kingdom Hearts, I hate that game.
It's just not for me. I'm not a big fan of turn-based like JRPG shit.
I don't
It's
mind.
not my-
I don't mind it so much because I'm a Final Fantasy fan, right? The original one,
Like Pokemon, I really enjoy because Pokemon's just different. But like,
right? What I don't like about Kingdom Hearts is Disney tried to literally like fist fuck Final Fantasy 7 with Disney shit, and they did it badly.
they tried to get like just all of their IPs into it, and it's like no, like a lot of these IPs interacting don't make sense. It's why I don't like Disneyland.
So that's that. I mean, they
Like the idea that Pirates of the Caribbean's a stone throws away from Star Wars doesn't make sense.
we're going to be talking about like, yeah, Mickey could play a wizard, fair enough, because he did the Fantasia.
I was gonna
stuff.
say like Fantasia, yeah.
Yeah, but Goofy as a tank.
You know what? Goofy as a tank makes sense, right?
You know?
Like Goofy doing lots of damage doesn't make sense. Goofy being the bullet sponge of the party makes perfect sense.
Yeah, but we're going to
Think about how many times Goofy has fallen off of like 95-foot cliffs and come away unscathed.
I'll say Wile E. Coyote.
Goofy's a tank in the purest form.
Yeah, but then you got like, what are you going to do with Daffy Duck? Donald Duck, sorry. Barbarian, maybe?
No. Donald Duck's your DPS. He's your DPS character. No, Donald Duck's the rogue. He's fast and he's really annoying. He's the rogue.
No. If we're going to this D&D style, Donald Duck would definitely be a barbarian.
Halfling barbarian.
Yeah, all that rage, built up rage in his body, he's definitely barbarian.
Halfling barbarian. Yeah.
I mean, if you're going for like cartoon characters, like Bugs Bunny's I know it's not Disney, but Bugs Bunny's definitely a bard.
Yeah, no, Bugs Bunny's the bard.
He's definitely got that energy of like, yep, I'm going to shag your missus, you're not going to do anything about it. Come with me.
Marvin the Martian's a warlock.
Yeah.
Porky Pig is a random shopkeeper.
No, Porky Pig would probably make a fairly decent, out there low stat fighter.
Eh,
Like dump stat intelligence and wisdom.
nah.
No, he's quite scrappy. Come on.
I mean, he's got some scrap. He's got the gusto, but like, I don't know. I feel like he's too pure-hearted. You know, he wouldn't pick the up of adventure. He'd open a small bookstore.
Cleric.
You know? Yeah, you're right. Porky Pig would be the cleric. Nah. I tell you who'd actually be the party cleric. Betty Boop.
No, again,
Betty Boop
no.
would be the party healer.
No, she still falls into the charisma-based roles.
Nah, see, like, hear me out here, right? Betty Boop's the party healer, right? Going into like charisma role, right? A multi-class character, this one. Warlock Druid double up. No, Warlock Druid, sorry. Warlock Bard, sorry. Warlock Bard double up.
Mm-hmm.
Jessica Rabbit.
Mm. No, I think Jessica Rabbit's more Paladin. Paladin Rogue, I would say, for Jessica Rabbit.
I mean, I could see it actually, yeah.
I mean, Daffy's just all Rogue.
Nah. Paladin Cleric.
Mm. Yeah, I'll give you that.
Like, just replace, like, the religion with just being an absolute fucking skank. Cleric Paladin.
We'll take a religion in, what do you call it? What's that, Shikrith from 40k. You know, the sex god that the Eldar managed to make into existence. You know.
I was talking to my sister recently about Warhammer, right?
Yeah.
Because my sister's not like she's a nerd, but she's like Nintendo nerd. Like, you ask her about Mario Kart, she'll tell you everything there is to know about Mario Kart. You ask her about Warhammer, she goes, "That's the one with the spacemen and the green people." Yes, that one. Like, I was just because I randomly remembered while we were talking about something a couple of weeks ago, like about like how like the orcs work.
Yeah.
Where like all their shit, including like their religion and their belief that red makes shit go faster, only works because they believe it does.
Yeah, because orcs believe
like,
it.
That's why the Warhammer 40k meme of like believing the WoW is so funny, because like genuinely, yeah, that's how the orcs work. They believe in the WoW, and the WoW works.
If
it's so fucking stupid.
If orcs didn't have the dumbstat intelligence in Warhammer, they were the most dangerous race in the entire campaign.
Genuinely, yeah. If they had a single brain cell between them, they would be dangerous. Oh my god, okay, that's terrifying. My sister just phoned me. She might be listening to the show. I'm going to answer that phone real quick.
Knife to the stomach, twist the blade, da da da. Why Vegas is on getting shouted at for being a degenerate. We're going to stop playing this video a little bit. Right, plug you in to charge my phone because my phone power is do. Don't set it up. I don't know what that is. Anyway. We want to play with people. We want to stop playing this video a little bit.
Drum up white guilt.
At first, I was angry at white people, but how can I be mad at a race who was also enslaved?
The British Navy continued their mission against the slavers. It captured the hearts and minds of the entire country.
I'm about to get teary-eyed, man. This is making me teary-eyed, dog. No bullshit, let's go. Welcome to WGTV, and today we're about to watch the British Crusade against slavery.
Britain's criminally stupid attitudes to race and immigration are beyond parody, by Frankie Boyle. For those who aren't aware, Frankie Boyle is a famous Scottish comedian who is most renowned for being pretty damn offensive. Needless to say, I'm a fan of his. And so when Frankie Boyle writes an article for The Guardian of all places, with the subtitle, "The Anti-Immigration Election Rhetoric is Perverse. We fear the arrival of people we have drawn here with the wealth we stole from them," I can see the misinformation coming a mile away. So Frankie begins the article by waffling in an overly verbose manner, reminiscent of Charlie Brooker, another man who I am a fan of, but has been led astray by misinformation. And it's full of these sort of contradictions that I'm sure sounded good when he was writing them.
You notice too, he said misinformation. I'm noticing that there's a lot of misinformation when it comes to slavery. It seems like don't nobody know nothing. And if so, people are rewording slavery on how they may see fit.
When you actually think about it, rather silly. I mean, here he is pointing out the irony of the leaders being nationalist and warning about the Scottish National Party, after making a crack about how the Scottish discovered penicillin, and taking credit for this for some reason. And for some reason he seems to mix up the concepts of trade and immigration. But these really aren't very important. I'm not even bothered that he just assumes that an Australian-style point system for immigration will obviously be a racist system that caters exclusively to white people. You know, this is despite the fact that a Cambridge economics professor has warned the sheer scale of immigration has caused problems for the UK's infrastructure, which was largely built in the 70s. But you know what? None of that really bothers me. What really bothers me is Frankie Boyle's attempt to make British people feel ashamed of Britain's involvement in the slave trade.
Right, so now I've got the context of what this video is going to be. Right? Frankie Boyle has never been one to sugarcoat shit, that's the best point. I mean, I'm a fan of his, to be honest, of some of his comedy, but let's just be honest, he's a shitpost of the highest order. And like most people in our Western world and university and stuff, they forget about actual slave history. They completely out of their mind, forget it, and immediately assume that everyone who has white skin was heavily involved in it. Now, don't get us wrong, I'm not downplaying the British thing and the British colonies of slaves. I'm not doing it all. Right?
I have. Sorry, I interrupt quickly, Fat Minty. I need to go.
All right.
Things are kicking off.
Oh, what's happened?
So my sister was out with some of her friends, and one of her friends has broken her ankle.
Ooh.
Said friend is fine. Said friend is like going to hospital and everything. Just my sister thinks it's her fault.
Mm-hmm.
Because they were on. Don't ask me where, but they were on the waltzers. I'm assuming at a fairground. And like fucking, my sister's other friend was sad for reasons I didn't ask, and she sent the friend that broke the ankle like off the waltzers to go give second friend a hug. And somewhere in that process of like getting off the waltzers, doing a hug, getting back on the waltzers, somewhere in that kind of a region of time, they managed to break their ankle.
Nice.
So my sister thinks because she's the one that sent her over there in the first place that this is somehow her fucking fault and not just gravity being a prick. So like, you know. So I'm gonna need to go and like she's like in a taxi like on the way. So I'm gonna go pee, make a fag, and then go like fucking go to where she's getting dropped off by a taxi.
Well, we'll cover this video later on, but at the moment we've done a test. Everything's working at the moment.
I apologize to people at home. Guys, just
alright. We'll end the stream there for the night because we've done like 3 hours, so
yeah. So we know things are working. So yeah, I will also see you and everyone else tomorrow.
We'll just down
folks at home, join us tomorrow for Devil's Latest Dungeon official session 2. Actually gonna fucking get it done this week. It's gonna be great. I'm gonna love it. You're gonna love it, and if you don't love it, I'm gonna shoot you in the head. Because fuck you, we've been at this too long for you to not enjoy it.
Right.
So
The only thing we'll say before we dip, get the whole frog by the scruff of the fucking neck.
Yeah, I'm gonna get hold of him and be like, right, prick, fucking, are you please be joining us this week. If you're not, it's fine. I can make it work, but like, please.
Yeah.
Like, god damn it.
Play your character.
I am so I've been so stressed for like 3 weeks. And I'm not even gonna lie when I say like Frog is like number 8 on the list of reasons why I want to just punch a wall. Like it's that frustrating that he leaves like so late in to tell you the plan. Like
Anyway, folks, our test stream's done. Everything's working now, so we're back to over it after Vegas has finished these 2 weeks of hiatus to live in a hobo for 2 weeks.
Yes. It's a religious experience. It'll be fun.
I'll put his GPS coordinates in the description for you, so you can go and visit him and scare the shit out of him at night time.
Have fun trying. Like, I'm not even gonna lie. Like my phone's coming with me, but it's getting turned off the entire time. My phone is there as the emergency lifeline of like I've broken my leg falling off a cliff. I need an air ambulance. That's all the phone's for.
Right. So we'll shut it down now, and we're back to like, stream then again. Two stuff that will probably come back with some new updates on how the channel's going to work from now on. Once me and Vegas had a good talk. And that's
So I really need to go. It's like bye everyone, bye catch. But you keep going. I need to go. So right, like bye. Wake me up before you go. Bye. Have fun. Thank you for joining us. Bye.
So yeah, me and Vegas will talk. And we're going to channel direction we're going to go into, which we'll tell you when he comes back from holiday. So thanks for joining us, and we'll just end it there for tonight for a bit because I'll be honest, I need food. So good night and good luck, people.